States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. What do you have this morning, Jim?
My resignation from museum board.
Okay. How many years have you been on that?
Well, I've been on there 5 years, but I've sat, when I was commissioner, I sat on there 12 years, so
Right.
I know how it operates and should operate.
Well, thank you for your service.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Brandon?
I do have a few things. The jail over here, does the sheriff know yet which direction he's kind of going? Does he have an idea? A couple years ago, I talked to the KDOC, and they were willing to work with us again, to get something going again. They just hadn't heard anything from anybody. I think Russ had a few things he was looking at. I just didn't know if he had come to a conclusion on exactly what direction he was gonna go.
We'll bring that up to him again. I didn't know for sure how that turned out with them,
Okay,
because I knew at one time there was a little hard feelings.
Yeah,
but
there
I
was.
Hoping it got,
it has. They're sending a lot of inmates out of state to private jails, and they've been doing that, Kansas has, for a little bit. And they would do something. I mean, they've said that they just need to get us back to the table and just to talk again and see what we can,
all right.
if we can fix that up. Okay, a couple other things.
And the reason he has some relation that is affiliated with the prison.
Yeah.
That he knows about this, so. That's head of the prison.
Yeah.
Was.
Okay, and moving on. Is there a cash carryover on special equipment when like Chris, if you buy special equipment, does he have to have a carryover on his? I think that might be a Tammy question. I don't know if it is or not. Do you know if there's a cash carryover on special equipment?
If he doesn't use the money, he carries over.
So and he doesn't have to, but you don't have to have $10,000 moved saved.
That's short.
Okay. And that's just.
He does have a reserve account that he buys equipment from.
Well, the question I had about that is that, just the interest payments. I know we borrowed, if we've got money sitting in there, and if, say, there is $130,000 sitting in there, people don't really like to pay interest payments. If you have to borrow the money from the bank to make an interest payment, it's better to just go ahead and use all that money because it's in there for a reason to use it. So I was just questioning to see if there was a special cash carryover that he had to have, like if there was $100 and some thousand sitting in there, because we're paying that interest at the bank. We're just paying an interest payment.
Chris does have a 5-year
Plan that he.
to purchase equipment, so he has planned out his reserves accordingly.
Okay. And I've visited with some counties around us, and some of them were talking about the townships. Some of their townships only manage the cemeteries, and they let instead of the roads and stuff, and that's all that the township people take care of, the committees. And so I was just wondering what all our township committees take care of. Do they take care of everything? How many of them do take care of it? How many of them don't take care of it? Which ones say where it goes? Which one's Chris? I know you guys know.
None of the township people take care of the cemeteries, do they?
The cemeteries have a separate board.
Separate board.
Separate board.
Yeah.
Well, there's one I think that does. We have some that do a hall, a park. We have one that does. I think it's a senior center. But we do have a separate cemetery board.
But all the townships take care of their township roads, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
Well, they buy the rock.
Right.
Are they paying us to use for Chris to use his equipment?
No,
But they pay
Pay
county
tax.
taxes as well as township taxes.
Just because if, they should probably have all their graders, all their tractors, and all their own stuff to put their own, we'll address this
well, there
another
are
time.
counties that have done that.
That do
and
that.
Mitchell County did do that, and they got away from it because times have got really tough, and to replace a new grader in a township is just almost impossible.
And that's just
And
why,
that's
you know,
every time they had a grader break down in Mitchell County, they just told the county, you can have it, we can't afford to buy one, so just have the township back.
They went back to county-controlled townships.
Yeah.
there's not very many in
Not
the
saying that's
state.
right,
that-
that's what
There's
they
not very
did.
many of them in the state that do, like Lincoln, they've got 11 graders. One is an extra, they have 10 of them. It's just that, you know, if we're having, there could just be a liability with the townships not taking care of so much stuff when they're having Chris do so much stuff. It's just check, there might be a liability to all that. Okay, this last thing, I'm glad that's going because a few people are able to listen to the minutes. And a few people are wanting to know what Commissioner Grund was talking about, people not knowing the difference between a recap and official meeting.
Point of order, it's been 5 minutes since he came to the table.
Okay.
We'll get her next time.
Okay. Bo, you just observing?
I'm just observing, yep.
Okay.
Who are you? I don't know you.
Bo Klein, own my own welding business here in town.
Cool.
So,
I'm glad you're here. It's always good to have people visit. Yeah.
Dr. Stevens?
Yeah, just real brief. I had met a couple weeks ago with a kind of a concept that I had to take to the Board of Education regarding a potential MOU.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a draft copy. There's many iterations that it needs to go through, so I'm not expecting anything formal or anything like that. I just wanted to give you kind of an idea that articulates what the school district is thinking as it relates to the 301 West 2nd Street and 303 West 2nd Street properties, or the John Henry and the small building. I am going to leave this with the board or with the commission, and this is what I shared with the Board of Education. We didn't have any formal action or anything like that. It's just a document to kind of go back and forth and start having conversations. Should the county commission not wish to do that, that's fine too. But we wanted to start having conversations of what this would look like. It is a one-page simplistic document. I am not an attorney. I am a school administrator and a former social studies teacher. So if this is something that you would like to pursue and have your attorney look at, our school district didn't express any disinterest when we presented it to the board. But in a nutshell, what it would allow us to do is to have some kind of informal lease agreement that either party could walk away from at any time, in which students would be able to go onto the property, make construction class types of improvements. The school district would do that as a service learning project. The students would be covered under our insurance plan because it's a work-based learning experience, and any improvements made to the building would be retained by the county. That's basically what this one-page document says. So I was going to leave some copies with you,
Okay.
and then I'm going to get out of your way today because I know you got a full agenda. So any questions or anything for me?
So your lawyer has looked at this?
They have not. This is
Okay.
a simple first draft of just a basic MOU. I've written these before.
Okay.
So if there are things that you want clarified or added, I can take it back and forth, and then at some point in time, before we do any formal action, before the county or the Board of Education would approve it, we would have an attorney look at it. We just wanted to articulate what it would look like to begin with.
So this draft your board has seen?
They have seen, yes.
Okay.
Okay? And then I'll leave a copy with the county clerk here as well.
Are you planning to implement this when, as soon as we can, or what's your plan?
I would like to
Time.
have it in place before August,
Okay,
because of the school year starting and then
right,
us
that's
being
what I
able to
figured
make
it was
some, yeah.
next year.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right, thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Sounds good.
Have a good day.
You too. Give you a copy.
Do you wanna take this home and discuss it next week?
Yeah, I think it have a,
Can you put this on the agenda for us to discuss next week? Are you okay for us to wait?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've got
we
time,
have to have our
so.
attorney look too.
Our next board meeting isn't until March 9th, and then we still have a couple more board meetings before the end of the school year.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you.
guys.
Tammy, you gonna pass that on to our attorney then,
Again,
to look at that, please?
I
All
don't see
right.
you on the agenda.
Come on in if you want 5 minutes or 3.
Oh,
You need
no, I
something?
don't.
What do you-
I'm here to support someone.
Oh, okay,
Thank
Are you at
Okay.
public comments?
No, she's on your agenda.
okay, you're Bree?
I am.
Well, come forward.
Oh. I don't know you, so that's why I'm like,
You here to support her? Okay. You didn't
We're not-
bring too good of a support.
Might be. Hello, good morning. My name is Bree Levine, and I represent Bennington High School class of 2026 senior parents. Thank you for the opportunity to present our request for funding from Ottawa County Drug and Alcohol Fund. We are here to request financial support for our 2026 after prom event held on April 25th. The need. The senior parents of Bennington High School have hosted after prom events for many years because statistically it is one of the highest risk events for underage alcohol consumption, drug experimentation, impaired driving, and risky behaviors. Research consistently shows that structured, supervised post-prom events significantly reduce alcohol and drug-related incidents among teens. After prom is a free, substance-free event supervised by senior parents, held immediately following prom, open to all juniors, seniors, and their guests. Designed to keep students safe from 11 p.m. to 3 a.m., this time could vary upon the dance. The class of 2026 chose the theme and suggested activities. This year's event is a Western theme, and some of the events planned are pitch and/or spoons tournament, dodgeball tournament, hay stack dig for prizes, photo booth, Zord ball, and a mechanical bull.
What was the second thing?
Dodgeball tournament,
Second, next one.
haystack dig for
I'll back up
prizes,
then, what was the first? Was something about spoons?
pitch or a spoons tournament.
spoons for you.
Card
Spoon.
game.
That's a card game.
Okay.
You wanna play spoons?
I never have.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
fun.
we're not talking about spooning each other.
It's,
Yeah.
it's dangerous.
It's very dangerous.
Okay.
We will provide food and snacks all evening with prizes earned and randomly drawn throughout the night. The event will end with prize distributions and breakfast. The goal is not just supervision, but it is to make a safe and a fun choice for the children. Approximately 90 students are expected to attend. Historically, 100% of prom attendees participate in after prom. The total event budget is $9,080. Amount requested from the Drug and Alcohol Fund is $1,500, which is 17%. Parents and students have been fundraising for the past year and a half. We have worked concession stands, held a soup supper, requested donations from parents, and asked local businesses for cash and/or prize donations. We have raised 83% of the funds needed. Funds would be used for entertainment and activity, prize drawings, insurance, and parents will cover most of the food and the drinks. We will track attendance, document volunteer participation, gather feedback from students and parents, and collaborate with school administration and parents. In closing, by supporting After Prom through the Drug and Alcohol Fund, you are investing in prevention, supporting local law enforcement efforts, strengthening our community partnerships. We respectfully request your support in the amount of $1,500 to ensure our students have a safe, substance-free celebration. Thank you.
This
Well, I
was-
love After
Yeah.
Prom. They didn't have it when I was there, so I'm all in.
Yeah.
After
I don't
Prom.
think we've ever donated that much.
Well, I was looking at the last years, we haven't really used that fund very much. In 2024, we only spent $200, and in 2025, we spent we planned to spend 500. I haven't looked up what we actually spent.
How much did you spend?
Well, the carryover from last year was 23,000. You know, it's funded by half of the liquor tax, and so, there's monies available. I'm just thinking, if we do it for Bennington, we should probably do it for Tescott and Minneapolis as well. I mean, just to be fair.
If they ask.
Well, even,
I would probably-
so this,
If
so,
they're gonna have something, probably ought to.
Yeah.
so this, so since you put it on the agenda, I assume that this fund could be used for this purpose, you feel? Do we need to ask our attorney for sure, or?
I'm almost positive it can, I can double check, but I'm almost certain.
I know there's restrictions in this fund.
Read
Yeah,
this
but
will
this
fund
would
your
be a
event
preventative.
100%.
It seems like,
yes.
it seems like it would match. I just
Sarah.
wondered if you had already asked that.
We're
Actually,
already
Jeff,
fund our
Jeff
event
is gonna be here
100%.
later,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we can ask that question.
Yeah, but I am almost
Confident
positive,
that it
yeah, I'm
would
very
qualify.
confident that it would cover this as well.
Well, so we're anticipating in 2026 about $3,000 in. And since we haven't used very much in the past, if we go to all three schools, it's potentially 4,500. I don't know if all schools have them.
Yeah, I think most of them do, but
Some of them have
How
after
long we can-
graduation.
Sustain it?
in that.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like if we foresee 3,000 a year, we could easily do 1,000 and make, but on the flip side, I guess we're carrying $23,000. It's better to use the money than to just store it
So
up.
we should let it be known that we could do this time, but not repeatedly.
Well, I don't know,
Probably.
if you figure, we had built in,
We'll all be gone by the time that's gone.
I was gonna say, so I'm thinking of $23,000 and you reinvest 3,000, let's just say it stays the same. I mean, so it's gonna be a while to burn that through. Since we haven't used it very much, I'm all in favor of using it for our kids. So, I mean, it's a direct, I'm thinking it's a direct impact to our youth and their parents, peace of mind.
Yes.
So I'm okay with it. I think
With the 1,000 or the 1,500?
well, I'm actually okay with the 1,500 just because of the balance that's in there. We can always reduce it in the future if we say,
Let it be known.
yeah,
Where's the camera?
but I think, at this point in time, we do have the monies available for all three schools at 1,500 should they request it. So I'm at peace about this.
I think you've done a great job with fundraising, come up with 83% of the cost.
Thank you.
That's fantastic.
Thank you.
What are your thoughts? I can tell you're
I
thinking.
always thought 200 was not near enough. But I was always shot down.
What do you mean, two?
Well, when we gave 200, I thought, how can you give 200?
You mean back in 2024, you think that was for an after prom event?
Either that or
It was for the 4-H
graduation.
development fund.
I'm sorry, what?
The 4-H development fund, you guys actually have a thank you for the one we did this year.
Oh,
And
that's-
there was an after graduation deal too or something.
Some schools have
That-
after grad, some have after.
I didn't never think that 200 was very much money, so.
So-
I'm
Requested to give $200 to the 4-H development fund
Okay.
out of those funds, and so that's what you've done.
So that's
last year.
additional, something else to consider in there. I still think we have plenty of money in that fund, and I think we should support it. And especially since they come forward, if our balance starts declining, we can always say no.
Well, that's why I mentioned if the other two schools ask for it. I mean, you've taken the initiative to come to us and ask for help, and I admire that.
Tell you right now, it won't take long.
Yeah, it'll get out. I appreciate that. But I make a motion that we give $1,500 to the after prom event in the Bennington High School.
I second that.
Moved and seconded to give 1,500 to the Bennington High School after
Thank
prom.
you. Thank you very much.
Is there any discussion?
Should it be designated out of the, fund that you mentioned, Tammy?
The alcohol and drug
Alcohol.
abuse
Drug
fund.
fund.
Yeah, out of that fund.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
All those
Yeah.
opposed?
Well, thanks for doing that for our kids.
Yes, would you guys like a copy of this or anything?
I don't know, Tammy, did
I
you-
would be.
Okay,
I would
sure.
You can just email it to me.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Do a copy or original?
I do. You can just.
Perfect.
Thank you.
And then, I need to see an invoice or things to pay off those, this will be who I need to pay.
Yep.
Yep, that's a good one. Thank you.
We'll see ya.
You're already done?
Well, I gotta get to work. If I don't actually show up to work, I don't make money.
There
so.
wasn't anything you specifically
No, you
on
just
our
wanna sit in.
agenda?
No, we just want to.
Sit in and watch for a little bit, that's it.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
Paul?
Thanks, Scott.
Yep.
See you guys.
Thing we need to remember, I think, about future after proms, after graduations, the expenses are gonna go up, 10 years,
True.
12 years down the road, so
But we may have to.
They might have to
bring it down a little bit
increase.
sometime, but won't be in our life.
I think you just kind of look at the account balance and make a decision and see what other expenses possibly come out of that
True.
fund. But of all reasons, I think that's a great purpose for
absolutely.
that plan.
Yep, absolutely.
Dwayne Morse, is he here today?
I think he's here in body. The museum discussion, they need to know what we're gonna do with the building, and I think Ebel would probably ought to be here for part of this to see what we can legally do, what we can't legally do. If we retain ownership of the building and keep it under our umbrella insurance on the building only, it would be pretty minimal cost. I've talked to Tammy about it, and we haven't got firm
Now,
dollar.
what building are we talking about?
Museum,
The museum
Museum,
board.
right.
So you're saying we should own it and let them lease it for a
Right.
minimal amount
right,
until they desire it?
right.
Then we could negotiate?
Yeah, and if they decide they want to expand it, then we'll have to figure out how that ownership's gonna play out and what has to happen at that point. But I think for going forward, I don't know how long the duration to make the lease, 5 years, 10 years. My first thought was a 100-year lease, but if they need out of it so that they can own it, there's a lot of moving pieces to this, and
Well, let's-
maybe,
Let's get, he's next, you
Yeah.
don't wanna just get
Yeah,
him in here
let's-
so we
yeah.
don't repeat ourselves?
that'd be a good plan. Yep,
We can call them here.
yeah. That would be good.
So, how are they rolling into the 501c3? Do they have anything started?
They're making progress, they've been,
How-
they've got bylaws they're writing right now. They had a rough draft at the last meeting, they've had the meeting with their attorney and the steps that they need to do, to follow through on this. So they're in, I was pleased to see the progress.
That's good news.
Mm-hmm.
I
It is.
I met with the owner of AVI
Okay,
Friday,
okay.
and he had his interest in the Sinclair stuff.
Mhm.
And I called Leland and told him
Oh,
that.
good, yeah.
He said that they would either be interested in buying it, or taking it on loan out, or whatever they wanna do. And he showed me what he would do in the gym, and he's basically gonna, right in front of the stage, set up a gas station.
Mm,
Look like gas pumps, and
mhm,
make it look like a gas station.
yeah.
Oh, they're not gonna put it, I thought maybe they might put it on the stage.
Can't do it now because they open kitchen,
They're feeding
start serving lunches here relatively soon.
So they're feeding lunch and they eat up on the stage?
That's
Ah.
where all the kids that used to eat.
On the stage?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I keep, they weren't, to protect the floor, that's where they went to eat?
yeah.
Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense.
So anyway, that's something that was said.
So the
You
museum,
might keep that in the back of your mind.
Yeah,
Leland, he iterated to me that he would, that'd be a great thing, but he didn't wanna get involved in it right now because of all the, they're busy.
he's got a lot on
Yeah,
his plate.
And I understand
Yeah.
that,
He's coming into his busy season of his
Yeah.
business too.
right,
So,
and so you might keep that in mind in the back of your
Yeah.
head too.
yeah,
I'm sure they'd like to do something sooner than later, but it all
I think there's a lot of duplicates in that museum
Yeah, that's
collection.
what I've heard.
So if they can sell off some duplicates and establish what ABI wants, it's win-win.
But that's gonna take some time too,
Yeah.
to do that, to go through all that
Right.
stuff.
Yeah, I think they're making good progress and I'm pleased, so.
Maybe you could, be in charge of that team of going through all that and
The Sinclair stuff, is most of it in that storage area, or they have a lot in the
Yeah.
museum, but are the duplicates probably in the
there's more than-
storage?
There's more than the duplicates up there.
Yeah,
That's
there
a
is,
lot.
yeah, up on the rock, their storage area.
In that
on the
shed.
rock in the shed.
Have a tractor or car or,
No, but I meant, so probably duplicates of what they have in-house are stored there?
Right, and other stuff, multitude of other stuff.
But I'm referring to the Sinclair stuff though.
Yeah,
So.
well, no, it's just multitudes of other Sinclair stuff.
Oh.
It is huge, Carla, huge,
it was
absolutely.
valued at one time of over 300,000.
For the collection?
Yeah,
And it was given to the museum?
yes.
Well, then in that case, I don't know if we should actually
No, they
give
said
it to them.
that,
I think they could make a donation to the museum,
Yeah,
other than buy it maybe.
and that's up to the museum.
right,
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true,
yeah.
they're an independent,
And they
since
don't have
they're
time to-
rolling out.
yeah, they don't have time at this point to
Yeah.
do anything with that, so.
Mhm. But that was a big concern they had, was how the building was gonna be handled, that type of thing. The air conditioning, heating system, HVAC system, is gonna be a concern because it's 25 years old. And if it goes down, it'll probably blow their budget. But I told them my view as a commissioner is to try and figure out how I can help them succeed
Absolutely,
in what it's gonna take.
absolutely. We want them to succeed.
So that's it in a nutshell, and that's, I guess, our attorney Evil can tell me what we can do, how to do it. Maybe he can draft, this MOU, they seem to be pretty popular these days, memorandum of understanding with the commission, and the museum board, how this is going to move forward. I don't know if it needs to be a resolution by us, that's his area of expertise.
Right. Well, he should,
We probably can't
get ahold of it.
actually draft it up
Won't be
until
usually.
they are an independent.
Excuse me?
He won't be here till 8:45.
Okay. Okay.
I can't, I mean, he'll be the one to confirm that, but I can't imagine that we can enter an agreement with them.
No, we can draft it and tell them what's available, and that would
Right.
ease their mind.
Yeah, to
know.
roll forward.
Right.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
So what do we wanna do between now and then? That lady's not gonna be here, right? Teen dating violence?
Right.
And Chris is gonna be a long discussion. You want, maybe,
I can discuss the resolution, and that would be I think that one's gonna be
Yeah.
pretty short.
Yeah. Solid waste exemptions. You want,
What would you like to discuss?
so did you have on the solid waste deal, did you tell me you had a folder with a bunch of,
Yep, and I have brought them, so you guys requested last meeting to see what you guys have, approved and denied, so I brought those in. I don't know if you guys are wanting to review them, if you want me to review them.
can I ask you a question? Did any of them, did we overrule what the appraiser's office did?
I don't think so.
and how did they get?
But there's been but he's had some struggles with how you guys wanted him to approve or deny things. So that's also been up for discussion, still something that's still up in the air, is he would like something in writing that says, how do you want me to decide how they're approved or denied?
I talked to him about it, and he said that there's different things in different counties, and there's nothing the same anywhere.
Right.
And, so what's in that?
Do you guys want these, or you want me to just go over them with you? I don't care.
I guess go over them, or,
Okay.
I mean, I don't know, how many is there?
So you guys have approved, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 of them. Some are because this one has like not been lived in. This is supposed to be a garage attached to an office, it's 2 lots. This one says already paying landfill fees on another property. And this one, the house had been occupied. This had no, city shut off the water and gas. It's a non-operating car wash. So those are the ones you guys approved, and then you guys have probably at least double these
Like
amounts.
Carla said, none of them are like what we're dealing with right now.
It sounds like we stayed consistent with what they did in the appraiser's office. And we don't wanna complicate it anymore for them.
No. Well,
My thought is if, like on Dwayne, well, on the construction and demolition that was generated only in the business, you know, that is being paid at the landfill in the fee by the time when he delivers it out there. I don't know that we should have to collect for, yeah, there should be some landfill fees on that.
but if we start picking and choosing, there'll be people coming out of the woodwork,
Yeah,
in my opinion.
but if they could look us in the eye and tell us that there is nothing generated at that residence, you know, like the house that was nobody living in, the shop where it was
But
only
he is-
construction.
I mean, they are both using those facilities.
Right. But
So
is
there's occupation in both of those facilities.
right.
And I think running water was the other criteria that we had given.
The criteria the appraiser currently has is if it can be lived in, if it can be occupied, we're charging solid waste. That's the last,
Lived in, what about business?
well, say, if it can be utilized
Alright,
and if it could potentially generate trash, right now, that's the current status you guys have the appraiser at.
right.
Is if it's possible to be used and generate trash. So even if, like some of these, you know, they have the water and gas shut off, but if it can be lived in, technically, it would be different than what you guys are
Right.
saying.
I know it's not a popular decision, but I would hate to guess how many places like the Delphus Museum and all those places would come out of the woodwork on this, and then we'd have a lot of backing up to do. I don't think we should.
I can see it from the household waste, you know, that fee basically covers our tipping fee in Salina for household waste. But construction demolition is a different animal, you know, like the construction, the cabinet shop downtown, or the woodworking, where it's generating only construction and demolition, and he pays that out of the landfill when he takes his scraps out there. That doesn't go to Salina, there's no tipping fees involved in that, you know, but yet, we've gotta have a fee from everybody, a fair assessment from all taxpayers in the county to keep the landfill open. So what's fair?
I kind of agree with Scott, when you start making one exception, then it's gonna be a snowball effect, and we're gonna,
I can think of 2 or 3 right off the bat in Delphus, just in Delphus.
Yeah.
And, I don't know how many in this town, and every other town, Bennington everywhere.
yeah. People are gonna start coming in and say, I don't utilize this service, and it's a service provided. So,
So we have 2 solid waste exemption requests currently. We have the, one from Autotech and the one from Dwayne Brown. So how would you guys like to proceed with that?
I think we should go ahead with what the appraiser
the office staff,
thought, staff decided.
I agree.
I don't necessarily feel great about it, but that's the way it's gotta be. I hate to do it.
I'd like to revisit the criteria that the appraiser uses to establish this. You know, if it's generating only construction demolition, you know, then that might be a different animal. I think in this case, you know, we're probably right, but next year we may have new criteria in place, and I think the thing was said that if we deny everybody and they appeal, then we evaluate one-on-one. I think that was said last year, so we could continue that, but I'd like to revisit the criteria that we use
Okay.
to determine it.
Alright.
Jason, are you here because of my email?
Yes, but I was also gonna come up anyway too, ma'am, so.
Oh.
Yeah.
Would you,
I was like, do you guys wanna do a motion
Yeah.
on this? Any
I would
motion?
move that we deny the two, appeals of the solid waste fee.
I'll second that.
moved and seconded to deny the two solid waste appeals? Is there any discussion?
We will revisit the criteria in the coming year.
Yeah. What he said?
Yeah.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Scott, I sent an email to Jason, because I had a phone call from, Tony Swetson,
I did too.
and, I just asked him if he'd come up and talk about it, so whenever you, I
No,
don't
that's
know what
fine.
else you were gonna
That's
talk
fine.
about.
Well, so Tammy, did anything come up about this 911 deal, the money?
No, I've not heard anything else, no. I haven't heard anything else, all I know is they received the bill, that's all I know.
So
what
they've
you're talking
never
about?
received one before?
Oh,
That I double checked with Jason on that.
yeah, you want, come to the table, come
Yes.
to the table, don't you like that? That's welcoming, come to the table.
Good morning.
So, do you wanna present it, or do you wanna present what I heard? You want me to start?
So might be to frame
Okay,
it
so
then.
I emailed, Jason, because I got a call from, EMS in Bennington.
Yeah.
And he said that he got a bill for Active Alert 911, and he had been told when they signed up for this by Marie, your predecessor, that the county would take care of it. And then, he said that they came back and said, you said it's their individual responsibility, and so those people were billed, basically. I think, as I asked Tony, I said, did they prorate that expense out then? And he goes, I believe so. Is that what you believed? Or is that what you believe, Jason, or do you even know?
Well, I don't know Tony Swetson. I've never had a conversation with them, so I'm not really sure what, where I was first made aware of Active 911, the subscription service, was when the sheriff's department sent me this first bill for $11.68. And I had no idea.
$1,168.
Well, just $11.68.
Oh, okay.
And this appeared to be Family SMS for an agency for Ottawa County Sheriff's Office, so they're the account holder. So when I researched it with the firm, with the provider, nobody here at I'm not on the account. I'm not a subscriber. The county's not a subscriber. Then earlier last week,
I'm sorry, so you said the account holder is who?
that's the sheriff's department
The sheriff,
for this
okay.
one, yeah, Bill to
Sorry.
Ottawa County, so that was the first one. So I began to open a dialogue with the sheriff and said, what's this for? And, so, well, here's a little bit of the backstory, so he kind of clued me in a bit. And then last week, I received a visit from Corey Kaiser from Delphus Fire. And he came in and he brought another bill, and I had an email it to me as well, and it was for $324. And so, as I understand it, we're not the bill payer we're not the account holder on this either. The county's not. But I understand there were concessions made, or something was offered to all of these recipient downstream agencies that the county would pay for this Active 911 subscription. And effectively what it's doing is replacing maybe an antiquated beeper system, or the need for first responders, first receivers to carry radios with them all the time, which might not be as effective.
It's an alternative to the radios?
It is. It allows dispatch to communicate with those first responders via their phone, via an SMS messaging app. That's the crux of it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what the service actually was. So it's a telephone communication from dispatch?
Yeah, it's a SMS messaging service it's a third-party provider that's based out of Oregon that, those like the volunteer firefighters out of Delphus, if there's 20 subscriptions on here for $324, they have an app downloaded to their phone that allows dispatch to communicate with them, if they need to be called, if there's a call for service from dispatch.
Well, I assume it's helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Coral?
It's on our phones.
So is it a
We'll
helpless
have an
service?
icon, oh yeah. And we'll hit that, and then there'll be, dispatch puts the information in.
Okay,
and
these
sends
are all
it out.
things they send.
And these are calls
paid it
from
before?
Minneapolis EMS.
Okay.
I don't get Bennington's, we don't get each other's services,
Dispatch knows who to
just
send it to?
whatever our own is.
Dispatch knows who to send it to based on the
Yeah,
location?
I don't know how they do it, but one button for each one, I don't know how that
Uh-huh.
works, but, yeah, I don't get Bennington's typically, unless they make a mistake. I got one the other day from them, but
The way it works with the dispatch user interface is if that call comes in, it depends on the circumstances, and then they know, okay, what's the geographic disposition of the emergency they need to respond to, and then I go, okay, and they have buttons on their computer. I've seen it quite a bit, and you basically are like, oh, this is a call for fire. They need medical as well, so roll an ambulance, or we need law enforcement out there. So there's a couple of different options for dispatch, but this is really intended to be a tool for that first responder out in the field. They've got their phones on them all the time, so what the services it's being subscribed to is providing them the ability to receive notification that, hey, there's a call for service and you need to respond or need to opt out of not responding to it.
Did the Delphus Fire Chief contact you and say anything
Say
about
anything
it?
about this? Did you find anything out?
Yeah, so it looks like in the past, emergency management has been paying a subscription renewal. It looks like it's about every 2 months. The last time they paid was October of 2025 for $178. The time before that was August 12th of 2025 for $372.60. So it's, I don't know, is it per message? Is that why the $324?
Well,
I think it's per account.
Yeah, I think it's per district or something, because I added up the whole cost and it was like $2,100, and I think that account you had spent last year, I'm sorry, you hadn't spent, but of the contractual, I think it was $2,300 last year, and $2,100 of it was for active 911. And then when we did the budget, with Marie, we reallocated that to subscriptions out of contractual, so his contractual went down, but it got reallocated to, and with the intent that that was gonna continue.
Okay.
So, I guess your point is that you're not the account holder, that's your point.
No, we're not. There was some.
So who is the account holder?
Each respective recipient subscriber is.
Oh, so they get so you're, are you showing me that you're the
this is
subscriber?
our EMS account
Yeah.
dashboard.
So you're not the overall. So in the past, did they, I guess the bills all just fed emergency management?
I don't know. I've never received any of these, but they go.
This is
to-
your first set?
Yes. No, we're not, emergency management or the county is not the subscriber. We're the de facto bill payer as a result of the promises that were made.
Right,
That's-
right.
So we're not, because I actually reached out to the company and asked some questions, said, well, you're not on the sheriff's account. The sheriff has to add you to the account, so. I just found it was very
Is
bizarre.
that why?
So she just went ahead and paid it in the past and probably shouldn't have.
Well,
because
she
wasn't-
covered all
not
that
necess-
county with it.
Yeah, it's not necessarily that, I want to say that it was anything incorrect. I just felt like, I thought it was bizarre that we weren't on the respective account. We don't have any control over, even though we're the bill payer. It was almost like we were a pass-through for each of these sub-agencies or these participant subscriber stakeholders. And that was very bizarre to me.
So
Well,
let's-
is that so you have control of adding people to that? That's the purpose,
Yeah.
why?
I didn't even know the county was paying the others until last fall, so we've been paying our own.
And I think it goes back to this history of dispatch and maybe the misconception or misnomer that emergency management is dispatch or communications is its own respective emergency support function in and of itself. And so all agencies are responsible. And this falls, I think, under in the veil of communications, but it cannot, in my view, cannot be paid in perpetuity by the county. There's going to have to be some budgeting and forecasting from respective subscribers that they're likely going to have. Again, it's not coming out of my personal paycheck. I just thought it was strange that we were not on the account. We can't do anything with the account or manage any of the accounts.
Yeah.
But we're the bill payer for the accounts in a sense.
Yeah, I kinda get it if they, that way they have access to changing it or adding people to it. It's beneficial in that they don't have to buy all these 800 radios, is that true as well?
It saves, I mean, I can open it up and show you, there's a lot to it, it's got GPS and it gives us the address and it'll, if there's something like Google has a picture of the place, it shows us that, which is extremely helpful.
Okay,
Part of what it's done, it has taken off, I won't say 100%, but a lot more a lot better it used to be. They page out, give the address, whether it's fire, EMS, or whatever. A lot of times people miss it or they forget what the address was, so then they're turning around in their radio and dispatch, what's the address again? Well, then if you got 15 people on the fire department and 2 on the EMS, anyway, we can just look on our phones and see the address. We don't have to bother dispatch again on that. It's got some other benefits to it where we will send out messages to my group. In other words, if we want to say something to them, or instead of an email or a tweet or whatever. But there's several things, and it's really pretty inexpensive for what we get, in our opinion. I've not heard, there's been a few comments, and I couldn't even tell you what it was as far as the negative to them, to the active 911, but for the most part, everybody's pretty happy with it from what I know.
What's the total annual cost? Any idea on this for the county, for all
Well-
EMS, law enforcement, fire departments?
it's hard to say whether, there were several different charges throughout the year, so I guess each one was, had probably for a different unit. And the fact that you paid your own, I don't know how many different entities paid their own.
Yeah.
Um,
Does it vary on the number of people on
Yeah,
the
it's
fire
per
department?
phone, per
Phone, okay.
The ones two invoices I received, one was for 20 for the Delphus Fire Department, and the other was for 2 for the Sheriff's Department. But beyond that, I couldn't speak intelligently about who has what. That's in and of itself is part of the issue too.
I get that, I see your point, and I
So
guess.
how are we gonna handle it then? We wanna,
Well, I'm thinking that since it was included in the budget for not EMS, emergency management for 2026, we could say that we'll pay it for this year, but anticipate taking it for 27 and just letting them know in the budget process. And the fact that some of the entities are already paying their own, that seems reasonable.
It allows them, I agree with whatever the commission determines is the best course of action, but that seems plausible and reasonable too, because it allows those subscribers to then forecast
Plan
and
for
budget.
2027.
We would
Yeah.
not want to offer, to, first responders especially, hey, we're gonna do this, and then not follow through
Right.
with what we intended to do for FY 26.
Okay.
You wouldn't want the role of administrator to add or delete firemen or EMS, would you? Would you leave that to that department head?
That's, I'll say that's a really great question, sir. And what I would say is if the county and certainly the emergency manager is going to be the bill payer, my preference would be that we are on the account and we have supervisory or managerial authority over that account. It's never a good idea to, just pay the bill but not understand what's going on with the
I
subscription.
get that,
Yeah.
I get that.
Great idea, and I
So-
didn't wanna put something else on your plate,
Yeah.
but,
If
I mean,
if the county were to endeavor, again, I support the intent and vision of the county, because it is good for the community at large, but it was just, was odd to me that we don't have
Right.
any authority or any locus of control
I
over the
get it.
accounts.
so let's go ahead and take care of it this year.
And then, what I would do is, when you pay one, reach out to that whoever that subscriber is and say, hey, we've agreed to pay this in 2026, please budget for it for 2027.
Yes.
What do you guys think?
is it worth then having Jason be the administrator of this and do that if we're going to change to the system in 2027? to where the fire departments will be in charge, you know, and they'll be paying their own bill. They'll be adding their firemen, they'll be deleting firemen that are no longer there, cause that would fall within your,
Yeah.
your view right now.
Each of these subscribers, if we're going to pay, I should be added to their accounts to manage the accounts. So that way we're not just paying in the blind, because
How much trouble is that to do, I wonder?
it's really on them. I can't call the company and add myself, but they need to contact and add and say, hey, the account administrator is actually the county and Jason needs to be added to the
And
account.
so if they don't do it, can't
I-
pay it.
I know, but we
I would,
need to
I would
add
proceed
that
with
later.
caution if we are not,
Right.
given visibility or authority.
So
to
you're gonna
them.
reach out to them then?
I can.
Okay.
I'd feel better if you were the overseer of this, which you apparently are, but the bill payer too, but if you need some authority to do it.
Again, it kind of goes back to this notion that this tool or this function falls within it. It's not really its own line of effort, and each of these responding entities has a responsibility. That's why they really should be budgeting for it, or they have an expectation that they're
Right.
supporting their own communications.
Carl, you agree with that statement?
Well, if I mean, listen, I didn't realize until late last year sometime or another, it was brought up to me by somebody that they understood it was getting paid through the county, and I said, well, we've been paying our own, but, which I still don't have a problem doing. We had 22 people on, and my last bill was $307.80.
And that was for how much?
That's for a year.
Well, that's not.
That's why I say it's cheap.
Yeah.
So that being said, I totally understand each group having their own budget, and
Yeah, and I
now
just think
whether
if you're
this
gonna.
falls into the big communication bucket like that's up to you guys.
I mean, emergency management doesn't run dispatch, and this
Yeah.
is a dispatch function. It's a communications
Makes sense.
tool. So that I'm not saying that dispatch has to be what my perspective is, communications is its own emergency support function. Emergency management is its own, EMS is its own, and fire, law enforcement. And those lines of effort, they all have to communicate with interoperability. But this is just another tool, that's another capability that's added, but it's unreasonable to think that it's an emergency management function.
Right.
And since it's not a major expense, most of the fire departments and the EMS departments can pay it if they know it's in advance, so.
Exactly, and it's not gonna break the county's budget in FY '26, and to that end, it wouldn't in FY, if the decision comes, like if a volunteer department were to come back and say, we can't find a couple $100 to pay for our 20 subscriptions, it wouldn't be the end of the world if they can't, but I think the constituents and the taxpayers should understand that they might not live in that district
Yeah,
that's
and-
being, but there is mutual aid, so that district might be notified to respond to a structure fire in their fire district, so
Okay.
it is possible.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's not worth it to make you admin over the program if next year we're going to go to each individual fire department, EMS and so forth.
Unless you
And
feel
let
like
them do
you
it.
want that.
We need somebody, and myself, I should be that person, if we're going to be the bill payer, somebody, and that should be me, that's what I.
You should be on
You
it.
just basically wanting a view,
Yes,
read only type
Yeah,
of thing.
if you're-
He's not wanting to take over and
Right,
do
he
all
just
the
needs his
pieces.
name on there to be able to view it. and
right, if we're the bill payer, if the county's the bill payer and the
That's
director
no
of
more than
management.
right,
Yeah.
do you think?
You mean for this year,
Yeah.
even though we're gonna roll it out?
It's
in
not that
2027?
hard to.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm okay with that. That way you can see what you're paying.
Yes,
Right.
exactly, cause I'm signing these
Okay.
things.
Yeah.
So he'll have to contact each of those groups that send you that bill and say, hey, I need to be added on?
Only Delphus and the fire and the sheriff's department has contacted me so far, I'm not sure about the other people, I
Okay.
can't,
Bennington, you'll have to.
yeah.
I'm
That's
just
who-
thinking, if you look at last year and see which ones you paid, I don't know if you have a file on that,
Mhm.
is to know, obviously, we didn't pay all of them, but you could reach out to them and say, hey, this is how we're gonna handle it, please put me on the account.
Yeah, I mean.
I hope there's a file.
It's, I mean, if Tony Swetson contacted you but didn't contact me, think about that for like, it's
Yeah.
very bizarre. Why wouldn't you send me that
Well, I think,
invoice? And why
didn't
wouldn't
he
you
reach out
contact?
to you first?
I haven't heard, I don't even know who that is. I don't know that
He's
person.
EMS in Bennington.
Yeah, but that's my point. I haven't received any, I've only received these two. So
Oh.
it's bizarre.
He
to s-
doesn't even know who he's gonna get bills from.
Right, that's like, it's a little bit mismanaged, and I'm wanting to demonstrate some fiduciary control over
appreciate that.
this for the county, yeah.
I appreciate
So
Okay.
it's not to say that we didn't pay something, I don't know
So,
what was coming in.
You gonna tell Tony to reach out to him or then, or do you want?
Well, haven't got the bill from Tony?
No, just
Okay,
these
so
two.
I can call Tony and tell him that, how we're gonna proceed is that you need to be on the account.
Yes,
You can send the bill, we're gonna pay it in 2026, but in 2027, you need a budget for it.
yes.
That's how
Yep.
you guys agree with all that?
Yep.
Jason, would it be easier for you to reach out to the entities that have not contacted you and just say, you know,
I can, but that's almost like shooting it that I don't really know.
That's why I said.
Okay.
I don't know
if he
who the
pulls out the
I don't know
file-
who the
Yeah.
subscriber, I
If he
mean,
pulls out the file to see which ones we did pay for, there's like 6 maybe
Okay.
from last year. I looked at the general ledger.
I can go through the bills if you need,
Okay.
all the invoices,
yeah,
come to my office.
I think it's something Jason should be able to do, you know, without involving us.
yeah, and I'm happy to support it, like, honestly, I support whatever the commission's vision and intent is with this, and it's, I mean, what's good for the goose is good for the gander here.
Right.
But it's a
If it was
loss
a,
of
if it
control.
was a burdened expense to those entities, I would say maybe the county needs to cover it, but it doesn't sound like a major expense, so I think we can roll it out.
No.
Yeah, we just need to have some control over it.
Right, I get that.
Okay, would you, in a short story, tell what you and I, the lady we interviewed, or interviewed us?
Yeah, I can
Everybody there.
summarize that. So, Mr. Mortimer and I, we met with a PhD researcher in geography from Kansas State University last week. She was pursuing her dissertation, and a lot of that dissertation language, approved research was revolving around, some of it was climate change, but it was mostly prescribed burning and the positive effects, or I guess the negative effects even too, of what that meant for the community at large and for topography and geography. It was really insightful, and we actually were able to connect her, I think, with some other Ottawa County stakeholders like the K-State Extension. So it was good, I think, interaction with an academic researcher with something that may be value-added information for the community, especially an agricultural county in the future.
That was her doctoral?
It was,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
her PhD, she was working on her dissertation, yes.
Right.
So
Okay.
is there anything that was communicated to you that we need to change our procedures?
Nope.
No, we could reasonably expect, I think, some type of written self-report survey to come into the county in the future that would elicit feedback
That's what
from
she
us
said,
about
yeah.
that.
Oh, that makes sense, just
Yeah.
to see
Yeah.
what they're doing, see if it's
Right.
consistent throughout this state.
State, yep,
Sounds good.
okay.
The final thing I was gonna share for you, I mentioned it a couple of weeks ago, but I just wanted to kind of, through the grapevine, share that, the K6, the interoperability communication system that we all see, there was a big question on who was gonna be it's come up in meetings, I think that, Tammy's even attended to, but some of the feedback or insight that I'm getting from some of my counterparts or contemporaries is that, what their understanding from the Secretary of State or from the state level is, that it is a 50-50 cost share is what they're expecting for the counties. Now, again, please don't take this to the bank yet, it's just so early
So what are
in
we
this
talking
election.
about specifically here?
K6 is the interoperable communication system, so all of those towers that you see across the state, I don't know, there's, 15 or 16 of them, and they're allowing that communication, the 800 megahertz radio to communicate into, all coverage areas.
Is this something new they're rolling out?
It's a sustainment plan. So there's been infrastructure established and it exists, but now it's gonna come down to expansion and sustainment costs. And that bill statewide, what they're working towards is $30 to $31 million. So that's for the county. So I think it's around 60 to 62 million statewide. And so they're talking at this very operational or strategic level at the state, 50-50 cost share with counties.
Of what
and-
amount?
Yeah, that's why I want,
Say that amount again?
yeah, it's 30 to 31 million is what the estimate is.
For our county?
No, yeah, statewide for all the
Statewide,
counties.
okay.
Divided by 105.
I would-
Yeah,
Is it
exactly.
divided out by a population?
Not necessarily. We don't have all those details. This is just very early information. I don't think it's anything we can, but I wanted to at least share that as soon, I found out late last week, but I thought I would
This
just
is
at
a
least.
new expense that the
Um,
county will have, because in the past, the state has always covered these expenses.
Yeah, now it looks like what the language suggests is 50-50 cost share, state 50%, counties 50%, and that to the tune of $30 to $31 million.
The state wants to get out of the whole deal.
Yes,
basically.
that was the big question when it came up earlier in the year, was who was going to be the bill payer.
That's
but,
great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I didn't want to, I want to share with you what I've been hearing through
Yeah,
watching the videos and listening to the
And
contemporary.
it's not
as well.
official yet, they're still
Nothing.
putting it together.
Exactly.
Is it
yes.
a bill to be voted on, or is it?
Yeah, there is, I think, a state, Senate bill maybe, or a House resolution, something to that effect, but, this is mostly just the narrative that's coming out of Topeka for,
If it's by
planners to
county, that's
consider.
gonna be $286,000 for
yeah, and
us.
some counties, I'm certain, will not be able to. But again, this is just where the language, or where the discussion has gone to at this point. And it was only because I'd mentioned,
Certainly have to do it by population.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Do we need to contact our representative and say?
Probably wouldn't hurt.
yeah, possibly, yeah,
Do you
because
know what,
they,
is it a Senate bill or House bill? What is it?
I don't know, I have to go back and look and see what that was. I know that it grew out of, lobbyists and then, emergency managers going and talking to Secretary of State, and then they said we need to do something about this communications, and now it's grown into, hey, we're considering a 50-50 cost share. But I don't think anything is set in stone yet. It's just, I wanted to kind of let you all know that's the latest and greatest information that I've
Okay.
observed, so.
All right.
Yes.
The
I think-
To me, the optimistic part of that is that bill has been introduced in the first part of the Senate, or the first part of the legislative session. It may not pass muster to get into the final vote or
Possible.
anything. It might just die in that committee, which,
Right.
that'd be best for us.
Well, I think we just need to find out more about it, and
Yep.
we need to let Dawn, if it's Dawn or if it's Elaine Bowers, Senator Bowers, one of them, to say, hey, this will kill our budget.
Yeah, and again, I don't know that anything is
Not
finalized.
kill it, I shouldn't say that.
Just something to think
It'll be a
about.
Yeah, I
significant
just-
impact on it.
Really, I felt obligated to kind of follow up with what I'd been hearing, and then certainly if I hear more
No,
or see more, I want to share that with y'all as quick as I
We
can
need to
too.
know when there's things like
Yes.
that, so we can reach out. So
Yes, ma'am.
thanks.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
All right. Jeff have to leave, did he?
I think it works. I'll reach out to him here.
Court on Monday?
Yeah, this court's on Monday.
Thought it was Tuesday.
I think they have on both days. If you want, I think that resolution would be pretty quick if you wanna get through that.
Okay.
I can do that real quick. So, what I have before you is resolution 2605, which is the ROS program. Now, you guys have decided as a commission not to participate in the ROS program. We really didn't see, a return on our investment with that. However, we are what's considered a ROS county, and in order to allow other businesses or nonprofits or anybody else to participate in ROS, we have to adopt a resolution. So I have resolution 2605 that authorizes participation in the Equal Opportunity Zone Student Loan Repayment Program. And if you look down in section 7, it does say we shall allocate $0 a year as a county.
Okay.
So that's all it is. It's just more paperwork. You guys already decided not to do it, but we do have to have a resolution on file.
All right.
So I did look up on the Kansas Department of Commerce website, and it did show that we were a county, it was on Orange County that says that either employer or county partnership, or sponsorship, I should say. So in this situation, by doing this resolution, it allows other companies within the county of Ottawa to offer this. It's just showing that we as a county employer are not doing it. Is that correct?
That and that we are, not because we're a county employer, but as a county, we allow.
Not
our-
we're not subsidizing, we're allocating it off to the employer? Is that what we're
We're
doing?
allowing for it, yes.
Okay.
We're allowing for it in our county.
All right.
So I'll move to approve resolution 2605 regarding ROS being available in our county.
I will second.
Moved and seconded to approve resolution 2605 to allow RAWs in our county. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Okay, and then Jeff is here.
Okay, come forth.
We're going to executive session.
How long?
Attorney-client privilege. Says I'm advising you of legal matters.
How much at time?
10.
Okay, it's moved to go into executive session for 10 minutes for attorney-client privileges. Do I have a second?
Yes.
Wait, so, do you want me to make the motion? I'm just saying, so it has to be attorney-client privilege to discuss attorney-client information to include Jeff Ebel. And is Tammy coming?
Fine, I don't care.
And for 10 minutes, beginning at 9:05 and returning at the commissioner room.
Second?
Second.
Moved and seconded to go into executive session for 10 minutes with attorney-client privilege with Jeff, our attorney, the 3 commissioners, and Tammy. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, give me just a second, I haven't turned anything off yet.
no decision made.
I want to
To extend, motion to extend executive session for attorney-client privilege with, do I have to include the entire motion?
say.
For Jeff and Tammy to resume in the commissioner room at, 9:21?
So you saying 10 minutes, right?
Well,
Yeah.
no, 5 minutes. Did you want 5 or 10?
Well, are we talking
Just one.
Okay.
So 9:21?
Then I guess 5 minutes, yeah, you'll, no, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
Okay.
have more to say on it, so.
I'm just.
Okay,
you
5
might
minutes.
Call me back.
To return to the, commissioner room. So Jeff, Tammy,
9:21.
Was that your complete?
that's my complete motion.
I'll second it.
Sorry,
Moved and seconded to extend for 10 minutes with.
5 minutes.
5 minutes with the three of us and, our attorney and Tammy. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So move to executive session for attorney-client privilege,
No decision made for,
for attorney-client privilege to include Jeff Ebel, Tammy Cox, again, Jeff? Yeah. To discuss attorney-client, under, attorney-client information. To return to the commissioner room. How long do you need, Jeff? 10 minutes?
sure.
Okay, so to return at 9:32, maybe 33 by the time it takes
Yeah.
you to shut everything down. So 9:33.
Second. It's moved and seconded to go into executive session at 9:33 with commissioners, our attorney, Eagle, and Tammy. Is there any discuss non-elected personnel?
No.
No.
Attorney-client
Attorney-
privilege.
Attorney-client.
All those in favor?
Aye. Joe, I just wonder, or Chris, when, at the township meeting, they made that comment about talking to an attorney about farmers that farm to the edge of the road.
Yeah.
I had never had, I don't remember that discussion.
We talked about it briefly, I mean, that's about the best of it, but it's also like one of the gentlemen said that was there, I mean, to do it correctly, you're gonna have to have a lot of surveying done on all the roads, to do it correctly.
It's an endless thing that couldn't even happen.
Right.
Really,
Right.
feasibly,
So we didn't ever look
He
into
would be,
that.
he'd be busy for the next 6 months, writing
or
letters.
more,
You know, just writing letters, not even
yeah.
be able to check it.
Okay, well, I just didn't know if that had ever, where that had gone.
We talked about it, and that was kinda it, cause, you know, like I said, the money you're gonna have within getting it all surveyed to do it legally.
Okay, that was it, Jeff.
Oh.
I didn't know if you were,
I don't even know what you're talking about, so.
yeah, it was farming,
The road, farming the ditches.
farming the ditches, yeah, basically, to the edge of the road, on the easement, and they were trying to say, you know, we should send these letters out.
We need to officially close out the executive session, saying that there are no decisions made.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Jeff.
Yep.
No decision made.
Thank you, Jeff.
So, okay, so you
Yeah,
gonna be
we're,
there for a while?
we're gonna talk about it, but they will.
Okay,
So
alright,
hopefully we'll.
yeah.
Alright, so what do we got?
Bridge
Discussion. So we got accepted for that bridge on Frontier and 180th. There on that last round of grants. And
Did
this-
they straighten it out?
They don't have plans for it yet.
Oh.
We just got accepted for it. And this is the stuff for signatures. Just basically saying that it's not a federal aid road, and it's not.
Is that the whole agreement there?
Mm-hmm. And then. It's all in here.
So we pay 100% of the, I'm trying to say this real quick, the zero of the construction and 100% of the engineering, is that correct?
Most of them are all that way. You get a few that are cover everything.
Have they got a plan on it yet, Chris, or is that what that papers are?
They got just a cost estimate on that one. That's about all they have. They don't have any actual drawings. I know it's been talked about straightening it and putting in a bigger structure, but there's not actually any available plans yet on it.
Okay,
And those will be released, I would think, probably here in the next month or two.
No cost estimate? Cost estimate
Yeah, cost estimate and actual blueprints.
for, that'll be the next few months.
And we, so it says, this utility relocation, that's normal. Do you know of any that are there?
Yeah, there is.
And we incur that cost?
Sometimes.
It says in here, the county will be responsible, will move adjust or possibly moved.
Depends on what has to be done.
Yeah,
I mean, that one, I about guarantee we're gonna have a cost in it, the way that thing jogs through there, we're gonna have to move that, cause it sits right on the side of the bridge.
Well, we'll have to cross that path when they do the
Right.
work,
They'll
or
incorporate
the
that into the bid.
bid and everything.
Yep.
So is the rest of this pretty much standard?
Mhm.
All right. What else, so
Yeah, what do we got next, I guess?
tractor bids?
Yeah.
So should I, I'll make a motion to approve agreement 1205-25 regarding the road, the bridge with KDOT for, at Frontier Road at 180th.
Okay, I'll second that.
Moved and seconded to approve the,
Can you say that again, Carl, I'm sorry.
It's agreement number 1205-25 with KDOT regarding the bridge at 180th and Frontier Road.
Thank you.
moved and seconded to approve the agreement of the -1205-25. Is there any discussion for the bridge on 180th and Frontier? All those in favor?
Aye.
You guys
Can you
want-
send this, did you get this via email?
Yeah,
Can you email it to me just so I can read through it?
yeah. You guys want the right of way or the bridge next? Or tractors, it don't matter to me.
Tractors.
These guys are the only ones that turned one in.
Oh,
The other ones couldn't participate. They tried, it just didn't work out to where they were able to
so are
meet
these,
our needs.
are these the tractors we're renting
Yeah.
for like, for the, just the summer season, then we turn them back after
Yeah.
so many hours?
Yeah, and that may change, they talked about letting us do them, keep the same tractors and do another 350 hours on them. I don't know, it's a sealed bid.
What's your recommendation? You
Um,
think tractors are good enough for another 300?
Oh, yeah, I mean, they were brand new when we got them, and it's kinda nice that, you know, we don't have to take 3 points off in every set, and, you know. all
Well, this
that.
is the same price as they did last year.
I don't know, I haven't.
Yeah,
looked at
just
them.
72.52, that's what our amount was last year. So the mowers, the decks that we got from Lot, will, equipment,
Mhm.
continue on. So
Yep.
we just lease out these these tractors for like 6 months or hours, right?
Yeah,
Based on hours?
It's 12 months, but it's based off hours, 12 months or 350 hours.
How many hours did we put, you said 350 hours we put on them.
Mhm. And that we shut them all off shy of, what, maybe 8 hours, 6 hours?
6, 8 hours.
You know, just shy of it, just to make sure.
Would something that small do you any good, since it is a year-long lease, to move some snow locally around the place, or?
They don't have buckets or anything like
Like a
that.
3-point blade instead of the bush hog?
Right, we just use, our loaders and skid
Yeah, I
steers.
Didn't know they'd be small, well, skid steer, yeah.
They're way bigger, I mean, they'd probably be harder to get around than our
Okay.
skidder.
Where does this stipulate the 350 hours? I know you haven't seen it, I'm just asking you to look at it. I don't see that stipulation. And then when it says this, are these brand new tractors? Do they, no,
No, they were,
they were last year.
Yeah.
So you believe that these are probably the same tractors?
I know they are.
Oh,
Not the same tractor in particular, it's the same tractor with no hours on it. Same type of tractor.
No,
These will be
it's-
brand-
These is gonna be these same tractors that
We
we
just wouldn't
currently
turn
have
in.
on our lot.
Yeah.
these won't be brand new, they'll
Oh,
be.
so
They're
we're going to be
as
in,
last year.
okay.
They're, and that is part of the reason the other company couldn't participate, is John Deere's having troubles getting these, being they have so many people now going into circulation doing this program,
Okay.
of being able to get 3 of them.
How many bids were received?
Just one out of two.
So based on, these serial numbers probably confirm whether they are the ones we turned in?
It's kind of spare.
They haven't left, Carla.
Yeah.
Oh,
They haven't even came out, they just stayed right, they're
Yeah.
still at the shop.
oh, so you didn't turn them in, you just quit using them?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Somehow I wound up with two.
And they all hit 350 hours? Yeah, are they, we could put something in it to stop it then, or it was just up to you guys to monitor it?
We just have to monitor it. Like, they monitor it, I monitor it, he monitors it, the shop monitors it. So it gets checked daily.
Okay, well,
Yeah, there's a thing on our phones that we can monitor every movement of that tractor.
How fast it goes,
How many hours it's
everything.
got, when it needs oil change, where it's at, what
Okay.
it's doing.
well,
I think it's weird that it doesn't state in here the 350 hour limitation.
Yeah, it doesn't have anything in there.
It doesn't look, is it, like, there's no contract here to sign, are they gonna present something?
This
More
is,
formal
they
than
may,
this?
it just, I'll
Tell
have
him-
to get with them.
Is this
you
just
might
a
tell
bid?
Jamie that we need.
This is
need to
probably
re-
just the bid, and we'll
Yeah.
have to get the actual,
This is a
Okay.
bid, so tell him that we need to see the 300-hour deal, and
yeah.
we'll go from there. So,
Well, so,
we're moving,
can I ask one question about things that, so there hasn't been any maintenance work on these if they've still been in your shop? There's no
John Deere
ma-
comes and fixes it.
Yeah, this is
John Deere
all
comes and
under
does it all.
warranty.
so they said they don't do any kind of maintenance before the year starts on these for us?
If if it needs it.
So.
Like, we have to grease it, like,
Oil changes and grease and
Yeah,
air filter.
you know, they do all the service stuff. Like, if it needs greased, you know, we're doing that. Same with the decks, we're doing that. If it's a wear part and we ruin it, it's our responsibility. You know, if it's a tire, glass, a mirror, something we break, you know, it's our responsibility.
Okay, so is what you would do is you just start them up, or
They're gonna check them,
they'll
just
come
like
and
they
check
do
them before
anything.
you
We
start?
will.
You will? Yeah, okay.
You do
Okay.
oil changes,
No,
no, they do, they do all of it except grease.
except grease.
Yeah.
I'm doing.
So, do we want to make a motion to accept the quote, or do we wait for the actual contract? I guess we should wait for the contract to see the 350 hours to make sure they haven't changed it.
There was, but should be said that, there was only one bid, and it was for total price of $21,756, which is $7,252 for a piece for 3 tractors. And so, upon the acceptance of the contract that states the 350 hours, then we will approve this, but this is, that we only have one
Mm-hmm.
contract that was presented to us.
Per the contract last year, previous year, whatever. Yeah.
So
In other words, no one else participated in bidding.
You don't need a motion for them to accept the bid since it's not been bid process.
I don't know.
We'll
on
do
that
it when
one
we
with
get the contract, probably.
Yeah, cause right now this was just numbers.
This is just a bid.
Well, I guess we can do a consensus that we would proceed with this bid pending the receipt of the contract, would you, Crystal?
I think we might as well wait to see if the terms of the contract have changed.
Okay.
Yeah, just make sure. I
Yeah.
mean, doubt it will, but
Right.
just to be positive, it stays the way it should.
Well, I'm just grateful the amount stayed the same.
Yeah,
Okay.
and all the tractors are okay as far as nothing burning a lot of oil or nothing.
Yeah, we haven't had any issues with them at all. I mean, other than what you get, you
Yeah,
know.
that would just weigh into it, you know, if you had a lemon, why you'd not wanna
Yeah,
have that
yeah.
one next year.
For sure.
So,
What's the average life of a tractor like this?
I honestly, on something like that, I have no
depends on
clue.
who's driving and who's taking care of
You
it.
know, I think it probably, like he said, and then plus what you have hooked to it, you know.
Okay, so what about this Right-of-way permits.
This is for the hog farm, and it is the same permit that they filled out originally, but it's just an extension
Okay.
for basically an update to move forward with boring under
120th.
120th and 2 locations, so it'll be 1 to 3 and 2 to 6.
So we approved boring this way, right? And they're gonna put another bore?
No,
Oh,
1 to 3, 2 to 6.
so we've already approved it once?
No.
Yep.
Well, you
Yeah.
did, but they didn't get it done in time.
So they wanted to extend.
asking
Oh, we
for an
gave-
extension
Oh,
on-
extension of time, extension, I see. Did we give them a time
Yep,
time
on
frame
the
last
first
time?
one, yep. And so now we're doing another 120 days.
So where does it say 120? Oh, right there, okay. So that's the only change.
Yep, everything else is the same.
Okay, so I'll move to approve the, road and bridge right-of-way presented with, Schwartz Farms for the borings as presented.
I will second that.
It's moved and seconded to approve the extension, for the boring on, Swartz Farms. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
So,
They do have something going under that road. Now, they have those huge tubes.
Where at?
Drainage.
On
On
Quartz or
Quartz,
120th?
On Quartz.
Yeah, there's a drain tile that goes across,
So
and
this,
then we put a bunch in.
so these are the other borings that they
Mhm.
initially presented,
Mhm.
okay.
You guys have anything else for Chris, or do you want to move on to policies?
Well, I'd kinda like to talk about that township meeting.
here.
So you wanna tell me what your, Dwayne, especially since Dwayne wasn't there, what was your takeaway?
It's pretty normal, I mean.
Normal?
You got complaints and changes and different avenues of what we should do or different, I mean, it was a pretty typical meeting.
Well, I thought that it was really good that, I saw several people nod their heads and say, you guys return phone calls and, so that was good. You could tell that they were, thankful for that. So that there was like 3 or 4 things that I walked away from. And, one was the tubes that Waco talked about.
Mhm.
So were you guys even aware of those, how bad those tubes were?
No, and Joe spoke with him personally to
We'll-
get that
We'll
resolved.
see him today or tomorrow.
So, based on those pictures of those two, did you even see the pictures of
I
the
didn't see the pictures.
Did you see them, Joe? So based on that, do we have a lot of tubes like that, that are that damaged, that could potentially do tire damage?
I didn't see them.
Do you know of any other tubes like that?
I'm sure there's.
Like
there's
I know
plenty
of
of
some
tubes in
on
the county that's
Frontier
just
that are
real-
barricaded on the edges, but
Here's this.
Because of a damaged tube?
yeah.
Well, what do you think about, contracting those out if you don't foresee doing them in a short time frame? I mean, tell me what your thoughts were.
Carla, that would be great, but is the county ready to spend the money to get the tube replaced? But we can replace all the tubes in this county, contract every one of them out. But we don't clean ditches right along with them?
Yep.
That's a lot of what takes so long. Like, we can go in and, like Joe said, this tube's on Scotts Road, and we can go pluck it right up and put the new one in, so it's not damaged, but at the end of the day, does it work?
Just
You know,
because
the
there's a new
tubes-
tube there don't mean it's
New
gonna do
tubes
what
there
it's
and
supposed to
ditches
do.
is just like it was when we went there, and that's the time. Takes a
And
lot
if
of
you- If
time.
you start cleaning the mile by Scott's house, Well, that's great for Scott, but what about Dwayne over here? Now all the water's going on Dwayne, so now you're gonna clean that mile, then you're gonna clean the next mile, and then you're gonna get to the creek eventually. But how many miles of zigzagging all the way across the county are you gonna get there?
I know, first, I was just talking about tubes, really, in that, the size. When I talked to some of the other officials, they were saying that they have damaged ones, but not to that extent. So I was trying to figure out how many we have that badly, and if we can, we talked about it briefly that night, and I was just wondering if you think that's realistic or not. You're gonna go look at his specific ones, but if there's a lot that are gonna do tire damage, I think.
Well, there's a lot of talk, but not very many people call him or him, sit around and complain about it, and then don't call the right people to get it looked at.
Waco hasn't called me one time.
But he's been upset about it for,
He said for 16 years it's been like that.
yeah.
I haven't heard nothing about it. And the blade men do report it, Carla.
Well, that was the
And
second.
all the blade men do, but
The second part, I thought that there was two motor grader issues. One was they felt like, or some of the buddies shared that they're the ones that should report to you.
And they do.
They do?
Yeah.
And then, so they were talking about that. So you feel like they do pretty much communicate
Mhm.
when there's work that needs to be done, the
Oh,
motor
yeah.
graders?
If they see it. I mean, you know, and
Well,
there's a lot to be doing in a motor grader. I mean, yeah, you should be keeping an eye on your tubes and everything, but there's a lot to be doing in one of those. Sometimes you miss it.
yeah, so anyway, did you say that in the meeting that your motor graders do report?
we try.
We tried.
I didn't hear that, I'm sorry. I just heard the person say, and the other person about the motor graders, and I have heard really good things about the motor grader operators, but the other thing was that, that when they put rock down and they don't want you to grade for a while, should they all communicate to you that?
They do. They do.
They do, you think
And
for the phone, because there was a couple people couple different townships that were upset, and I was trying to figure out if.
They all communicate and we try to keep it just a rough standard all the way across the county. If they ask for a longer time for it to sit, we try to meet their needs.
It's hard to meet their needs
At the
when
end of the
it
day,
gets to be
if you
washboard.
live at the end of this road and you tell me you don't wanna blade that thing, and I have your neighbor calling me or the other lady up the road begging for it to be bladed, who do I please?
And they're,
Well,
after a couple weeks after the rock
Mhm.
is down, which should, you know, it should be something done to it because it gets worse for you.
It does.
Well, they were saying that, you know, when they put the rock down, the grader should see that it's fresh rock and should
And
just.
Carla, they do.
They do.
And they got 2 weeks. That's what Chris and I usually do is tell them 2 weeks.
When they see
And we
new
go
rock
blade
down.
it, and every one of our blade operators know, if there's fresh rock after 2 weeks, you put every bit of that rock right back on that road. You do not windrow new rock. And everyone, I went and told them.
Sometimes you end up with a little string, you know, and I'll catch it, he'll catch it, and we go put it back out there.
And
Because after 2
sometimes the guy
weeks-
that's operating the grader might not have his head in the right game at that day. And I mean, everybody makes mistakes. And,
And if we get that phone call, they just go back and put all that rock
Right.
back on the road.
We try to accommodate every single phone call we can, you know, whether it's let it sit longer, blade it right away, go blade it again, you know. If they call and say, hey, you know, we haven't seen the grader down our road in 2 weeks. Well, one person doesn't want it graded, that person does. We say, hey, we'll have somebody there. They'll either be there that day or first thing in the morning.
Okay.
and then everybody gets mad because they're grading their road.
And then,
Not everybody, but
well,
some.
something, you know, it's,
There's a guy over east in your territory, Robert, I don't care if I use his name, and I don't think he'd care. Robert Smith.
Mhm.
He does not want his road graded at all.
At all.
Cause it's an old old brick and,
it's got
rock
some
and
stuff.
everything, and he don't want it graded at all. If you grade it, you're gonna get your butt chewed.
Oh, yeah.
And, I mean, I've heard that a million times from him, and there's people that want them graded every 2 weeks, some don't want nothing.
Some want it every week.
Yeah, I mean, it's a
Well,
vicious
it
circle.
sounded, some of it sounded like communication.
I'd say most of the townships do a very good job at communicating with us, you know, with either giving Joe a map or I a map or texting it to one of us saying, hey, this is where we're gonna put the material,
And
should be
as
in
far
this
as
area."
Waco, I'll give him a little bit of a break here. I don't think he's been on the township board all that long, probably. But he could have called still. Doesn't,
Right.
you don't have to be on the township board to call him or him.
Right, yeah.
And, but he hasn't been on all that long and,
And I told Waco that I would come out. I forgot I had an appointment at 2 o'clock today, but I'm gonna do everything in my power and I'm gonna go look at it.
and there was some,
Like I told them in that meeting, there's no promise and there's no guarantee
and there's
that
things
we
like
can get to
this.
it today, tomorrow, or next week. In this
mean,
job, you can't.
At
And
the end of
there-
the day, you know, you got 1,500 miles and 20 guys to take care of all 1,500 miles, and if you figure it up in 1,500 miles, there's probably an average of 4 tubes per mile. Just crossroad tubes, not
Maybe
even counting,
more.
you know, entrances or others. I mean, that's a lot.
And
Yeah,
that particular township, for years,
They do have a lot.
yeah, but there was a lot of animosity between who was running it and some of the people around. They were jealous of the guy running it or mad, and so there was not very much communication.
Right.
And so it's a damned if you do and damned if you don't deal.
Okay, so the other thing that was discussed was the base and who's responsible for the base. Did you happen to look that up in that resolution? I think you were talking about it.
I looked some more, me and Joe kind of talked about it. I never found anything of who's responsible.
For the
I know
base?
in the past, you know, if it's bad and it's eating cars and stuff, me and Joe have taken whatever it takes to make
always-
it right.
Always been a unwritten rule. I think if
Yeah.
there's a spot or a 200 yard long deal, the county and it was bad, county always
Yeah.
fixed it, but not the whole road.
Right, just kind of that spot. There's been spots he's taken material out and I've taken material out. It just, we take it case by case.
So on a spot basis, you feel like the county does repair those?
I've seen it. I mean,
Or you do, you're the one doing the work. You guys believe
and that's
that's
again,
true?
that's
I don't
another.
believe we do it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
say,
We do this, Carla.
Yeah,
I mean, if there's
There's
a
one
big
in
soft spot
Teskid,
in the
I
road,
think.
we go take care of it.
there's one in Teskid that ended up taking probably, what, 300 tons between all 2 or 3 different
But
materials. we
if the
use.
is that
soft
after the
spot,
flood?
Mhm.
if the soft spot's this big, we're gonna try to address, but we're not gonna keep addressing it. Go down 20th Road, and I guarantee you're gonna find soft spots periodically all the way down. We're not gonna go and stick.
'Cause they're
shovel,
sand.
Fill that up and dig it out, and put shovel. We're gonna wait till it gets a little bit bigger.
You know the concern about the railroad trucks up in Chapman?
Mhm.
Is there any advantage to having, those two landowners call you when they see the railroad trucks there to catch them?
There is, I mean, it's dealing with
Do
the
they do
railroad.
that in the past? I'm sorry, I just interrupted. Have they done that in the past?
The railroad is
It's
No.
another, but they are another entity in the world that nobody can touch. You could shoot
There
them
is-
out.
I can ask for things.
I've been in fights with them.
It took,
and
we
nobody-
worked with Scott on one.
Yeah.
And I don't know how long it took, and I don't know who he talked to or how he talked to him when we finally got one resolved. But it took a long time.
I luckily,
Well, it sounds
Was-
like they're traveling now.
Oh, yeah.
They're working on that road now.
And I mean, you
So-
can go up and talk to him, and this guy's gonna tell you, go talk to your boss, go talk to my boss, go talk to my
Well, the
boss.
head
You
man
will
happened-
find the boss eventually.
one of the guys working for the railroad happened to call me and say, hey, the head man's crossing your right of way down there and he's going south. He's gonna be to that bridge. You should sit there and wait on him.
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
So I did,
Wait for
but-
this truck
but-
to come and say, hey.
But
I mean,
that only happens once in the head person
I can
from
sit there all
New
day,
York
you know.
was
but-
in that truck.
No, I'm just saying if they would call you and say, hey, they're working on this bridge today, there's a lot of truck traffic today.
But the right person's not gonna be in there very often. If the head man from New York wouldn't have been sitting in the front seat, and I would've talked to all the rest of them guys, it never would've got done.
And that you don't know, that once it gets turned in, it's a whole nother process too. You know, they're either gonna say, yep, we'll cover it up to X amount of dollars, and we'll pay whoever you use. You will never actually see the money. That township may never see the money. They're gonna pay it directly to the contractor or the hauler or the quarry, or they're gonna pay
Or
it.
as long as they fix it, that's a, yeah,
They,
I'm okay
they're
with
not
that.
gonna fix it.
Well, you said that they might pay directly to the court.
Well, yeah, but they won't fix it themselves.
Yeah,
Yeah. Just
Mhm.
depends.
so in that situation, you really don't want them contacting, I mean, do you want me to tell them that if they call
They
me?
can call me.
Okay.
They're more than welcome to call me. I've done it with other townships, whether it been railroad or gas company, and you know, you fight and you fight and you fight and you fight with them, and sometimes you get somewhere, and sometimes you just, after a while, they just start screening your phone call.
Yeah,
It's just I mean, there's a truck that goes down the tracks every week that you could talk to, but they'll say, okay, I'll get it, I'll put it on my list. And I mean, there's places on some of my ground that the culverts are plugged clear under the tracks, and they'd say, yeah, we'll fix that next time. And if you're not happen to be right there to catch them, they won't fix it. And they just got the railroad is the railroad.
And it's union.
yeah.
So, I mean, that's a whole nother deal there.
So the last thing was the infamous list. You could hear the frustration when people said, it's on the list, it's on the list. So, so my question is, do you have a list?
Which one do you want?
I want the list of what people have requested improvements.
I can give you a list of all the improvements we get. If you want to thumb through them, that's fine.
No, but I meant, so that, I'm just thinking so that we know that this is it's not on the list forever. This is, I guess that's my concern. That's what some of those people said, that they've been on it for 7 years or whatever. I'm just trying to figure out how to move it off the list so that people, when they say, they don't get frustrated when they hear it's put on the list. Do you understand?
Mhm.
I mean, I'm just trying to figure out how to move it along.
You don't. That list doesn't ever get any smaller.
Carter,
'Cause
we
it gets-
fix 5 things, we get 20 things reported to us.
Yeah.
I've got lists in my truck from when I took this job. I've got lists, Chris gives me lists.
There's
I've got
lists
lists
that
out on my
So
desk.
do you date, like when you get a request, like when it came in?
But why do you do
Well,
when it
it's
snows
just
and
like
you
to
take
say
the
that
trucks
tree
out,
project we're working on right now for you. You know?
Now, wait a second, it's not on that 200?
Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
we
you are on 200?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
But
Well, how about
now,
mine? I was on the list. I've been on the list for 8
that's what I'm
years.
saying. You know, who do you?
Scott, when did
Well,
you
I'm
ask
just-
us
I'm
about
just
that
saying
tube
for the-
and that new house right up there? And ain't that your hayfield right across the way?
Yeah.
When did we talk about that tube that needs to be put in there to save the county road?
Yeah.
That's the
We-
thing.
we
We
haven't
put
even
this
got that.
person here, move this person here, move this person here. It's a revolving circle that never stops.
Yeah.
Do we put you ahead of Scott? Do we put Scott ahead of you? Do we put Dwayne ahead of you?
Sure.
We gotta go where it gots to be done.
Yeah.
Like everyone says, the emergency things.
We do.
We've gotta get
We don't
everything
necessarily
done.
do what's right for me or Joe or what's right for Scott, you know. We try to prioritize it for what's best for the township or the county,
Yeah.
you know, and that's
Like-
the best we
like
can
Joe
do
said
there.
in that meeting, they were doing a project on top of Pike Trail Marker, and
That's been a 3-year project.
and it was gonna get done if it didn't rain.
Yeah.
And then it rained and rained, and so they had to move to the other end of the county where it didn't rain, and so they haven't been back there for 3 years
Right.
or 2, and it's just,
Well, I mean, I
once
think,
again, you're damned if you do and damned if you don't.
yeah. Well, I just think that, you know, the real point of frustration I felt that night was to be on the list and it not being done in a period of time that they thought was acceptable. And I'm just saying that's what I felt.
Well, I think I know how we can fix it. We need to give them about 500,000 more a year. Have him hire a specialist to run a track hoe.
And you about need a whole nother Joe.
Yeah, and another guy to go with him. I mean, I thought to myself, you know, I could do that, but I couldn't do it in the summertime. I could go because it's gonna take somebody to tell them what to do all the lines and do all the 811s, but I don't know if we can afford another $500,000 deal for another man, another machine. We've probably got enough
Trailers.
trucks. but, I mean, that's,
Well,
and
we
we could
need-
get started doing it.
So you, right now, you split them up, Joe, and so you just go back and forth, or, well, you have foreman, right?
Two.
So that, you split them up according to that?
Mhm.
Well, do you need to hire a grade operator strictly for ditches that does all over the county?
What do you mean?
Well,
A guy that just does only that.
well, yeah, I mean,
I mean, you
think-
could, I mean, what's
But
work
it don't
to you?
work like that,
Yeah,
Carla.
you know,
It's money, it's money.
You can't hire, Chris cannot hire me just to do ditches only.
right.
What happens when it rains?
Well,
What's he gonna do in the wintertime? What
well,
happens when it
he's a,
freezes?
well,
What happens when he needs rock? What happens when he needs dirt hauled off?
Right.
What
so
happens?
that's gonna have to be an extra
I
person.
mean, there's so much more
well,
to
that
it.
person can do something other than grading, but somebody whose primary job is is ditching.
We have one.
One of your grade operators?
No,
No, we
he
got
is
a guy.
specifically just to do ditches and tube work. That's originally what he was hired for.
And
But then when you
he's
have
not part of the
people-
9. He's not part
No,
of the 9?
when people retire, people quit, people drop off, people get in an accident, people get sick, do you leave him doing ditches or do you fill in to solve the other
He needs filled
problems?
And, I've run a track hoe for 40 years. And I don't think I could do the job that guy does and the preciseness. You can't just put anybody on that deal, because there's times you're digging within an inch or so of cable. It's gonna cost you $100,000 if you get it. It's just, that person is out there somewhere, but it's gonna cost a lot of money. And we'll have to hire somebody else to do it, and then hire somebody else like Joe to manage those 3 guys, or 4, whatever it is, 3. It's gonna take money. That's all it's gonna take. A lot
Cause
of
we
it.
have that stuff. I mean,
You have someone dedicated to ditches.
yeah,
But he can't do it every day, all day long, like it needs to be done to get anything accomplished. He goes from one place to another when they need it.
I mean,
and so
in
you
the
can't put
perfect,
him.
yeah, in the perfect world, we'd stay in one township and stay in it till we finished it. But I'll retire long before we get to the last township.
Well,
I mean, that's a lot of
I-
years.
I'm just telling you, if we could get, we gotta
Even if
come
you
up with
could get
money.
a township done a year, I mean, you'd never see the end of it.
I think we have to come up with some money.
I'd like to encourage people that have been on the list a long time for the project, you know, maybe they've been on it for a couple of years or 7 years or whatever. If the project is getting worse, you know, if it's originally just a little bit of a soft spot in the road or something of that nature, or ditch overflowing when it rains, and it gets worse, you know, to call again and say, hey, we've got a
But
bigger
we have,
problem.
we have that situation in Buckeye where they call every time it rains.
So
Yeah.
let me ask you this question, it might be completely crazy. So we got a guy that's laid up a little bit right now. Can he go to work, grab a pickup, and go around and prioritize some of these culverts? I mean, I know you're busy all the
Right,
time.
right now he can't because they won't let him
Won't
until
let him.
they get this other stuff.
I didn't know if that would be
Figured
a,
Well, you know what,
tell he's-
Scott, I was talking to Chris, and I wasn't gonna bring it up, but you know what, every other Friday, if you guys get called and the motor graders ain't moving, and they're out driving around, so the motor graders
We
gonna do
want
every other
them to
Friday.
build a list.
Just build a
in
list
their
of every tube in
territory.
their section,
Oh, wow, well,
good or bad, closest intersection, and then, when
Okay.
we get it,
that's fine.
every one of the motor
And
graders,
it ain't,
every other
it's gonna
Friday.
take a day.
so you, is this a new?
More
Well, it's gonna
Yeah.
take
Is
months.
this
Yeah.
new?
Yeah.
Right, but you can't do it a half a day and then go back and do it a half a
Right.
day.
That's why
It's gonna take
every other Friday,
Yep.
for 8 hours, they're gonna
At
drive around
every
their
other
section,
Friday.
I don't have a problem with that at all.
and they're gonna write down the tube and the closest
Make a map.
intersection.
I think that's great.
I think that's wonderful. Did you guys decide that after that meeting?
He did.
Wow, I wish you would have thought about that before the meeting so you could announce that.
I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I'm gonna promise you something that's not gonna mean they're
It ain't
fixed.
gonna mean
That's
nothing.
what?
It's not gonna make them fixed.
No.
Oh, but.
Then we can prioritize
Right.
the worst ones.
But
I mean,
let's
and then
stop,
at the end of
though.
the day, we're gonna
But
pick
what you
one,
think
and
is
this
bad,
guy over here is
and
gonna be
this
like, well,
guy
mine's
think is
worse.
bad,
Right.
is gonna be the problem there.
But what I'm thinking is, if those guys take the time and see it, maybe they could fix a few of them themselves.
When they get done, then they can go back, and while they're there, they can take their shovel and clean out the end of it.
Well, that was one of those
Or Bennett.
persons saying, why don't they do that? So that's good that you,
Back in the day, all the motor graders did
Yeah,
that.
and back in the day,
Back
all the
in
motor graders used to clean all the ditches, but nobody, we've run out of those old people, older guys that knew everything about it, who spent their whole life in a motor grader.
Man,
There's not that many, experienced people. Now, the county does have a couple, 3, that can do that. All of them could do it, but it would be.
Get it done right and
Yeah.
efficiently.
Right.
I think that'll make a lot of people happy. I mean, just really, because one of the questions was, when shouldn't the motor graders report what
They
needs
do.
they do already.
They do.
We already said that.
So
But
let's do what you suggested. I think it's a good idea. Do you?
Mhm.
I think it's good. And
And and the final thing, talking about what they used to do is, I know that the commissioners used to drive around and look at the roads and the ditches and the bridges after the commission meeting. And I think I don't know how they got around Coma, but I think that's a great idea to go around and see what.
if there was a problem, I think they did, went and looked at bridges and stuff like that.
Well, I think that Kathy said they went all the time. Were you here when Kathy Luthi was?
I
And-
was not up, I was not coming up to these meetings then.
But she said they used to go out after every meeting and drive around and look at the roads and see people's concerns.
Was that them as a group? Was
Yeah.
that them
Yep.
singly?
That's
No.
illegal.
Yeah, you can't,
How did they?
They were illegal.
They broke Coma.
Well, was
You guys
Coma not in
can't-
existence?
It was in existence, probably wasn't that big of a deal then, but now it's a big deal.
Yeah, you can't discuss, if you guys weren't discussing county business, it'd be one thing, but if you were driving around to look at roads together where other people couldn't be there, it would be a violation of Coma.
I think the new plan that you guys have, to have the guys go out and circle the sections in the pickup every other Friday, get us reports,
Have them write it
we don't
down.
even need the report.
Oh,
You guys,
It's gonna be
So we
wrote
can
down
get it, yeah.
yeah,
on paper.
just,
Okay.
And
If you guys
Within your
chose to
department.
meet at this particular intersection, at this particular time, got out of the vehicle, discussed it, got back in the vehicle and drove to the next location without discussing it in the car, that would not be a
I
violation
see.
of Coma. If you were in a vehicle driving around having a conversation, that would be a violation.
Because
Okay.
nobody could hear the conversation.
Right.
I get that.
All
I
right.
get that. Well, so I would like to see the infamous list so that I can see that the people when they call, and I know they call you, but so I can say, it's on the list, I saw it on the
Infamous?
list.
infamous, is that the $5 word for the day?
That's a good word, isn't it? Infamous
Okay.
list. I think they called it that at the meeting.
Yeah, well, there were some things said at that meeting that didn't make any sense, and there was a couple people that should have been thrown out by the nape of their neck, one person in particular. So,
I'd like to see how your plan works, Joe, to get where the hot spots are, where we've really got a problem, plug
And
up to water over the road,
All I'm gonna have them do is write down the tube's location and if it's good or bad.
there you go.
That's all I'm doing. I ain't gonna, not, that's
So,
all.
is
Good
there
or
any-
bad.
They're not looking at ditches? They're just
Those
looking-
go hand in hand.
Okay,
yeah,
I
but
just wanna
every
make
ditch,
sure.
every ditch, 99.89% of them need to be cleaned out in this
Yeah.
county.
Everyone.
And every other county north of here, unless they build a new road. I mean, everybody's up against the same thing. Unless you're Saline County, so Saline County has done what I suggested a year or 2 or 3 ago, and they got enough people and enough money to do that. They have a guy that runs a track hoe and the trucks, and that's all they do. And if it rains, they do the highways, the Saline County highway ditches, clean them out. But then during the winter, they don't do it. But I mean, for 4 or 5 months out of the year, that's what they do.
But not all roads are the same. I mean, some look good compared to others. They're not all bad.
No, they're not all bad, but I mean, there's something wrong with every single road in this county.
Yeah.
Whether it be the road, the tube, the ditch. I
At
mean,
some location.
At some point in there is something.
And it
So-
depends who you talk to, what's wrong with it. Different people will have
Right.
different views.
You know, and
How
the
much
severity of it.
How much would we have to buy a trackhoe if we got another person to do the thing with the trucks and another guy?
I mean, I'd like to say yes, in reality, no, but the downfall of it is if you're digging them, you know, at times that little one's better just because it isn't so big. But that thing takes a long time to dig a ditch in that little thing compared to our big one. And it takes a long time to dig one, you know, and haul it all off.
To do it right, yes,
everything,
Scott.
you know.
We would have to.
We would about have to have
Because
it.
you always have to have that other trackhoe.
Yeah.
For, you know, things going here and there.
Right.
So what's that, three?
That's it.
I have no clue.
That's another truck, that's another trailer,
Yeah.
that's another, you're gonna pay someone that good of money to come in and really kill the morale off the road and bridge if you're gonna pay him that kind of money?
Well, I mean, it's gonna have to be with the top of the, whatever the thing is. It can't
Yeah,
be.
I was gonna say, we
It
have a
can't
ways
be
to go.
more than, and if they won't come, then we tried. But it will have to be at the top of the range, if that person has got that much experience. That's what it'd have to be. So, I don't know what it'd be, 50, 60, I don't know what it is. But we're talking 300,000 for
A big
Truck.
excavator?
for the truck and trailer probably.
Yeah.
And then probably $500,000 for the excavator.
Without
And
a
then,
bucket.
then the next guy that's gonna be the foreman of that group that tells them what to do. I mean,
It's a vicious circle.
it is, and I wish we had more money coming in where we could do it right. Snap your fingers, let's do this.
Right.
I mean, you guys could quit fixing stuff and just start doing ditches and,
Well, and that's it, you know, me and Joe both said, you know, you guys letting us contract out the bulk hard work of the asphalt
Chip and
has made a huge difference on
Yeah.
being able to, you know,
Moving-
concentrate
moving,
and
yeah.
keep more guys on ditches and tubes and.
well, is there, so when you get some of this back, try to prioritize something that's really, really bad. And if we, and then we'll have to come up with the money, have to hire Bochex or the man down at Culver to fix some of that stuff, then we'll do it. We'll have to. What was it, whatever, Leanne's husband. Yeah. So if he comes up with something bad that's gonna kill somebody and we got, we're spread out now, so if it comes up with some,
But the thing is though, Scott, is if it is reported to us and it's that bad, Chris and I waste no time getting there. We
Okay,
got a call about 10th Road, 10th in Ottawa. The road was undermined.
The farmer actually found it.
People are driving across this road. I went to pictures of it. I could have crawled halfway underneath this road. We stopped everything we were doing that
Right.
morning, Scott, and
And
we
went
went and
there.
took care of it.
right,
We had it taken care of that day.
right. I'm just
If
talking about,
if it's that big of a problem, because what you think is an emergency and what I think is an emergency might be different. That was bad.
That
How
was
people were even driving across that.
emergency no matter who looked at it.
right, I remember
Right.
that deal.
But I mean,
I went and looked at it, it was bad.
if that tube is tore on the side of the road, does that mean we need to get to it right now? Exactly right now?
Well, it's
Why in the
gonna
hell
take
are
us,
you driving on the side of the road in the ditch anyway?
yeah, well, it's gonna take a special situation where maybe the ditches aren't as bad. And if we could do some here and there with those guys to kinda ease the pain a little bit, I think we should. If we can't, we can't. I just think you need to have that in your back pocket in case you say, well, maybe we could do one or two a month or something, or one a month.
Would it help a little to increase hours? I mean, a volunteer blade operator or who you would need, you know, for a little overtime or something to take care of some of these situations that are critical. I mean, like that road washout, you know.
I don't think anybody's
If it's that, if we address it during working hours and we get it done.
Okay.
I mean,
The only
we
thing
take
that,
everyone we got, Dwayne,
Yeah,
and we will get it accomplished
yeah.
in our 8 or 10 hour day.
I think the
We'll
only
get it
thing
done.
that anybody could do on overtime would be mow, but then if he sends somebody out to mow, he's gotta be on duty.
That's
Because you
right.
About
One of us
have to
gotta
have
be
a
there.
mechanic or something
Yeah.
too, just in case.
Yeah, I mean, the state does that, and I don't know how they
Yeah, I,
get along, how they
I
do
have
it,
no
but
clue.
they're mowing on Sundays.
Really?
Yeah, but
Well, personally, I think you guys have got a plan to stick with, to have these guys go out on every other Friday, take a look at what their territory looks like as far as whistles or tubes, and give you the list of what's critical, what's not, what's okay. I'd like to see move forward with that, and let's see how it all washes out.
yeah,
We can beat around getting a new excavator operator and new machine and all that, but that's impossible.
oh, it's not impossible.
Well, did you hit the lottery over the weekend?
No, just raise taxes. No, we won't.
So 9 operators, so you have, motor grader operators, so they, each of them cover about 2 townships? So they would,
About 110 miles.
yeah, anywhere
Some-
between
some of 'em
hundred
got
and
4
ten,
townships.
125.
cause there's only so many maintained roads. I'm
Just
sorry.
the way the map lays out.
Uh-huh. Well, that would be good though, because he could compare, you know, he would have comparison of situations, so that would be good. You know, relatively, what's the worst case scenario versus,
Well,
well, I thought the meeting went well overall. I mean, I didn't think, so that's good.
yep, I thought so.
That's all I got.
That's all I got. I'm glad you're doing, Teresa, are you doing 200 and 210? Just south of 18?
Sure. Why not?
Yeah, we're on 200th.
Yeah, cause those were the ones, that it was almost like a canopy over the road.
All right, well, thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks, fellas.
Thanks for addressing those trees.
You gotta go, Carl? Have a good day.
Can we take a break?
Hi, Mummy.
Okay,
Go ahead.
the only, right before policies? Okay.
And are you just calling a 5-minute recess?
Yeah. Do the mic stay
you're on.
Okay, so,
Did
Being
we,
policies.
did we cover teen dating violence?
She is
she's
sick
coming
today,
back.
She's
so-
sick, so we're not gonna,
Nope, we'll
Okay.
reschedule.
she's coming, so policies.
okay,
Okay,
policies.
so the policies I'm presenting, we are getting through, we have the bulk of the policies. Joe, has been working really diligently on getting all our policies reformatted, rechecked, all our policies, most policies will go through our department heads and then come to you. So any policies that are at your points, we are kind of at the, they've gone through HR, they've gone through department heads mostly, and then here. So the policies we're presenting to be approved are the vacancy posting policy. Do you guys have any questions on that?
I didn't have anything on that.
Was that the first one? I don't know the names of them, but I had one.
20.03.
Okay, was it on page 11 by chance?
No, there's only 3 pages to that one.
The what?
There's only 3
2 pages.
Oh,
Oh.
are you talking about page 11 on the email of the agenda?
Whichever policy it was in, I read that some positions should be a drug screen, and I thought all positions should be a drug screen.
We currently do not drug screen all positions. We are working on changing that and working with the health department to do that.
So if we adopt this policy, then it should say all positions require drug screening.
We don't currently have that arranged.
But we're gonna put this policy into effect.
Right, but we can't put it into effect if we don't have it arranged yet. We currently, when I came on, they did not drug screen. We are working on changing that. When we do, we will re-bring this policy to you.
Okay.
But that is not currently something we have. We are working with the health department to see if they will do this for us.
Okay.
We are currently in the process of doing that. I agree with you. I believe everything should be drug screened, which is why we're working on that.
Okay.
But that's not what the current policy was.
Okay.
On the attachment on that 2003, where it says high school, you just need a space in there, you see it?
Oh, high school diploma?
Yeah,
So,
that's the only thing I had on that one. I didn't have anything on 2004.
do they need to be signed?
Yep, and then the next one is 2004, which is applications for employment. Any questions on that one? Moving on to 2005, which is employee selection process. Any questions on that one?
Well, that one, you had, see where it says related policy 20.05, and it is 20.05? I thought you should delete that.
Okay.
And then so the department heads, is this a new thing, this interview board?
No, we've always.
You have always had a board, instead of just individual department heads interviewing them?
That is the board. So an interview board would be more than one person.
Right.
So I guess I'm not sure what you're asking.
Well, it says interview board consisting of a representative of the department head, non-elected official, or their appointed representative. So you can say, an interview board can be just one?
It can be, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay. I just wondered if you were changing that.
Nope, we're not changing. Most of these are just the old policies. Now, there are some we've changed, but a lot of these are reformatting.
Okay. On
But
that
yeah.
second page, it's referencing guidelines of policy 20.05, which is that policy. So do you want to just say this policy?
It's up to you. I mean,
That's-
not really. We like to just say policy 2005, but if you wanna change it, we can.
But isn't it?
It is that policy,
Yeah.
but I think that's preference. I don't think that's necessarily a change,
Okay.
it's just preference.
All right, it's your.
Yeah, cause most of these also were taken from other counties.
And this says with appointed department heads, should that be like non-elected?
Again, preference. All of department heads are appointed. All department heads are not elected or non-elected, so.
Well, the hiring department, the hiring decision in departments with non-elected department heads should be subject to the approval of board and commission, right?
What number you want? I
On
can't follow.
11.
That's what it says. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I just think it should differentiate between a non-elected and an elected department head.
Okay, so. So instead of with appointed department head, do you want to say non-elected?
Uh-huh.
Could we strike the whole sentence, because Chris doesn't need our approval to hire somebody, and he is not an elected department head.
I agree with you.
The same thing with you, Tammy, we don't need to approve your people.
Well, I'm elected.
Right, so
Yeah.
I'm saying appointed or elected, either way, I don't think we need to approve them, it's up to your judgment.
I think I agree with you on that, actually, so just strike out that sentence.
So you're saying the department heads the non-elected department heads just make the decision, right?
Right.
That makes sense,
That's-
yeah.
Yeah.
I agree, that's a good change.
Okay, and then the ones that, at the very bottom, it says for, temporary positions that are for more than 4 months, is that usually just our mowers? Do we,
That's all I can come up with at the moment,
I was just trying to figure that out.
I mean, I'm sure, so I'll take an example, my election workers.
Yeah,
That's shorter than 4 months.
Right.
If somebody needed some intermittent help, you know, Scott was talking about earlier about if somebody could help for small seasonal amount of time, that might be under 4 months.
yeah.
But yeah,
Okay,
I
I was
no
just
reason why
looking
what
at
I
that,
thought
trying to
was-
figure that out.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
thought that too.
Would we want to require a drug screen if they worked 4 months last summer, and then we want them to work 3 or 4 months mowing this summer? We wouldn't need to rescreen, would we, because they're just a seasonal employee?
We'd have to work that out in that hiring process. I would say yes, I would say anytime we hire, rehire, I would like to.
Okay,
So my first applicant, that's what I did, and everybody was very confused, and I was like, oh, I didn't realize we didn't do that. So we are in the process of changing that.
okay, so it would be required each time?
Each
maybe?
time.
Each
So-
season for seasonal
Each,
employees?
yep, each rehire, I'll put it that way, each time they've been, inactivated and then are reactivated, we wanna go ahead and do that.
Good idea, I think.
Yeah.
On this example of the, internal transfer play scale alignment, what does transferable mean?
What, which one are you on?
Well, I don't, there's no page, but it's, I'm on, let's see, I'm on the appendix for 2005, and it's the example of the new external hire.
Mhm.
And in that column where it says transferable, I didn't know what that was. What does that mean? Relevant, I understood, and verifiable years, but I didn't understand transferable.
Transferable experience.
So relevant and transferable are different?
I would say so. I would say relevant would be within the subject matter, and transferable would be specific to, so I'll take me as an example. I worked as a deputy county clerk in another county. There's relevant experience, but because I hadn't worked for Ottawa County, it's not transferable experience. Would be what
So transferable probably would make reference to Ottawa County?
yes.
Okay,
I would, well, I'm not saying, I'm just saying, in my example, the clerk's office is two very different things, not very different. They do things differently, and it's a different county. So, I mean, if you
I
were
guess,
a nurse,
so relevant and, transferable would come into the pay scale, that's what I'm trying to
yes.
figure out.
Oh, I'm sorry, yes.
So both of those, so the transferable, if it's Ottawa County, obviously it's gonna be 1 for 1 on the pay scale. If it's relevant, it'll be half.
I don't wanna give it numbers.
That's specific, okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be a case by case basis.
It's gonna, so that's gonna come into play, but most likely transferable will be Ottawa County, or is there another example?
A nurse,
A nurse
So
would
a
be
nurse
transferable.
if we have someone who's doing, who's giving vaccine shots, and they did vaccine shots, to me, that's pretty transferable.
Transferable, okay, I got it,
Does that kind
I
of
was
make
just
sense?
trying to understand it more than anything,
Yeah.
the form. Do you fill those out, or is it, who fills that, the person hiring?
Either, I mean, it's gonna depend again on who needs help with it.
Okay.
This helps us to determine where we would place them on the pay scale.
I get it.
And all these came from the Arnold group, so,
Yeah.
um,
So on the, let's see, you had the example of the new external hire, and then you had the new bank form, and then you had, the next one should say example of internal. You need to have that word example up there. Do you see it?
do we need to, or are you asking to leave it up there?
Well,
I don't feel, I see what you're wanting to say, but
Well, that's your example. If you're gonna
Yeah.
attach, if you're gonna provide that example, I think it should say example.
we'll go ahead and put it on there.
And then so I couldn't figure out where you got your 6 and your 3 on there.
Again, these are not my forms, these again came from the Arnold group, so,
Did you understand how they got those?
I didn't look at their examples, cause we've already kinda have been using these, so I didn't look too far into the example.
Okay, the other one, I could see where the hours transferred, so that made sense to me. This one, I couldn't figure out quite where they got their numbers. Do you think that's off the scale then? Do you think that's off the pay scale? Anyway, you don't know either.
Well, I mean, looking at this without looking at the pay scale, like, I just couldn't, off the top of my head, tell you
Okay,
what
I won't
it
worry
is.
about that.
Like, it's just an example, the Arnold group filled one out,
Okay.
and I don't study their stuff, I look at ours.
Okay, and then on the next one, you just need a header of what it is, the internal promotion pay scale alignment form. Do you see where there's no
Yeah.
header on it? And then on that same appendix B, I think you just need on number 6, after resources, you just need a period and then the. Do you see that? For human resources, the contracting party should be designated during the hiring process.
Right, appendix B, I'm sorry, which one, number?
6, second to the last line, after resources, I think you need a end of a period and a capital T there. Okay,
What page is that on the file? Okay, appendix B, I see it
Appendix
now.
B.
I don't, I don't know where, are you trying to find this?
Yeah, I found it now, appendix
Okay.
B on 22. 23 was blank.
Yeah. I didn't have anything on 2002.
I'm sorry, what's 2002?
I didn't have anything on I'm sorry, 3002.
Oh, so okay, are
I'm
you
just-
guys ready to move on then?
Yeah,
on that
I'm
one?
just kinda
Okay. Give me just a moment here, let me get this
I'm sorry.
settled here. And then, so 2002 is the pay deductions and pay corrections, and you guys said you had nothing on that one. 3002, excuse me.
Yeah, I got you messed up, yeah.
Okay. And then 3004 is timesheets, work schedules, breaks, and meal periods. Any questions on
I
that?
does all the R&B people sign in and off during meals from lunches?
Do all of what? Say it again.
I'm thinking of Road and Bridge. It says that all employees utilize the software recording. It says beginning and end of meal periods. Do all people
Yes,
do that when they go to lunch?
yes,
Even the people that are out Road and
Yes.
Bridge?
yes,
They do it on their phone or something?
yes.
Oh, okay. And then it says that on the second page, it says they can't skip their meal period to leave work early. Has that always been true?
What number are you on?
Under important guidelines, on page 2 of this policy. It says,
Without prior approval.
should we add that?
I believe.
It says employees may not skip their meal period to leave work early.
I will look into that, cause I believe it says that earlier, but I'm not gonna look through it right now.
Yeah,
So if it does not state that earlier, we will add it.
yeah, I'm thinking, that makes sense in some situations, right?
On page 27, they were,
Uh-oh.
under that, they were encouraged to have their meal periods away from the work area. I was surprised, cause I think Road and Bridge on a nice day will probably go out and just sit with their lunch, or maybe they go in somewhere to buy lunch. But if they bring their lunch, they probably just go sit outside the building or in their car or something of that
I
nature.
imagine that means don't sit in the motor grader and eat. It means to get out.
I think they do
we're
that.
looking too far into it. I think it just means that if I'm sitting at a desk and I constantly have a customer with me, I don't wanna have my entire lunch spread out.
Okay,
I think it's just, I think it's a matter of just using common sense.
okay. Cause I see a lot of road grader operators sitting on the side of the road having lunch or having a coffee break or something.
Yeah, we don't require them not to, not do
Yeah.
that. I mean,
So I was questioning whether that was even something we needed in there. It's back to common sense. You can't regulate common sense.
yeah.
That's the only thing I had on that one.
Okay.
On 3006,
3006 is vacation leave. Do we have any questions on that?
so it says, has this how it's always been? That once you go over 240, you lose that?
Yes,
That's always been true?
yes.
Oh, wow.
That's not uncommon for most counties.
I just didn't know if we had a lot of employees that would affect, that we were changing it, but you're saying that's what we've always done, so that's not a big deal to them?
Right.
I guess the only other thing I had there was on 15 where it says, those part-time employees that were previously grandfathered into this policy, do we have that situation?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
Part-time employees are not eligible for vacation leave other than those part-time employees that are previously grandfathered into this policy.
Is there a problem with doing it that way?
Well, I just think it's clearer if we just say part-time,
But if we have people that are already grandfathered in,
I don't know what, yeah,
I could not tell you.
part-time employees that would be grandfathered in? You think it's a possibility?
I could not tell you.
I think it's,
I would say that it is a possibility and, or it wouldn't probably be in there, so.
So on the appendix there, where where it says transfer of sick and vacation leave, I think where it says you're having that employee sign it, I think you have to, I have read and understand Ottawa County Policy 30.06, and I think they have to read 30.06A, since, and because they're gonna transfer sick and vacation leave, because that's what this form does. Do you see that?
Yeah, I see that. Let me just check something here. I think we just need to update Appendix A to be like it is in 30-06A, in that it does not specify, oh no, it does specify.
Yeah, this one is
So yeah,
just sick.
we can add 30-06A.
Yeah, and I think you need to say my sick or vacation leave there. Right? Cause that's what this is doing. And then the 3608, after 480 hours, they are paid, is that normal as well? Is that been
Finish your question. What was your question?
I'm on to 3006A, I'm
Okay,
sorry.
hold on, so is there anything else on 30.06? Okay, if not, 30.06A is, and it's important that we allow people to, present and let, so people watching know kind of what we're talking about too, that's why I'm doing it this
Oh,
way.
I'm sorry.
That way people know, I just don't wanna move on and be like, what were you guys talking about?
I'm
So-
sorry.
No, that's fine, 36A is sick leave, so go ahead, what was your?
So the sick leave, it says, they'll be paid for it after 480 hours. Is that normal too?
These policies were not changed from what was prior.
Okay, so that was normal. So it's kinda interesting, vacation you lose, but sick time you get paid out. And that's what it's always been. And I guess, is that normal? Dwayne, do you think that's normal?
I was trying to go back to my days at beach, and it seemed to me that vacation time was always used, and sick leave, I don't know.
Oh.
Short answer,
I
I
was
don't
just
know.
curious, if that's not, but if that's what they're used to, that's fine.
Yeah.
So on appendix A on that same policy of sick,
I made the same changes on Appendix A.
Well, I was just gonna say, you're gonna pull vacation out, because this one's only sick, right? And you want a vacation out of the header, and then you only want them to read 30.06A, because this is only sick, right?
I don't know.
I wonder why they didn't just do both separate. Well, because I guess that one person can do sick and leave at the same time, is that what they're trying to do on the first appendix A? And the second one,
I'm just gonna pull 3006 and 3006A, and I'm gonna review those and bring those back.
Okay.
okay,
I think that's the best thing to do.
so then, oh, you wanna go ahead and start yours?
Yeah, that's just so people know what we're talking about. So next is 3007, which is employee benefits. Do I have any questions on that one?
Well, the thing on number 2, when you're referencing capers and KP&F, when you're looking in that, the write-up there, you went from capers and KP&F to just capers. Do you think in all those locations you need to add KP&F?
I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're asking.
So, that paragraph or section is about capers plus KP&F. But when you're referencing different specifics, you only reference the caper side and not the KP&F side.
Can you give me an example of that?
Well, like, the second line, it says capers membership is mandatory. Well, wouldn't it be capers or KP&F membership is mandatory for employees working under capers covered?
I don't know, I'd have to look legally if KP&F is required. Capers is required. I don't know about KP&F.
I think KP&F might be voluntary.
Yeah, I think it might be voluntary. I think we are correct in saying just capers. But then when you said we don't include together, the next two bullet points do say capers and KP&F.
On some of them, and then if you go on to the next one, then like, on the top of that page, it says, the first day of employment in a capers covered position, the required capers, it's not capers and KP&F?
Well,
And
it's a capers covered position.
Where are you on that, Carla?
Well, I'm on the second page of that policy, and I'm just trying to figure out how to identify that we're referencing capers and KP&F, because lots of times it only references capers.
Again, I think we'd have to, capers is required. I don't know that KP&F is a requirement as much as like Dwayne said, voluntary. You must, as an employee, participate in capers. We can't get around that, but not necessarily KP&F.
So on the first date of employment for, if it's a KP&F position, the required KP&F contribution, well, isn't it deducted from the employee's
But
pay
you're
as well?
calling it required. I don't know.
Well, don't they make required KP&F contributions?
That's what I've said now.
If they
I
volunteer.
don't know the KP&F is required.
If they
You wanna
volunteer.
check that? Well, I'm just saying the employer side.
Yeah, if they volunteer for KP&F, then we have to make a contribution on the employee side.
For KP&F,
For
right,
KP&F,
right.
right.
But I don't know that KP&F is required, but capers is required. Capers is a required piece.
My question was on item 5, Teladoc Health. I thought we decided to drop that as a benefit, but leave it in place for those that wanted it that would be grandfathered in the last benefit.
Ended up being that it was all or nothing, like we had to either choose participate or not, and then you guys chose to participate.
Okay, so we have
Yeah,
Teladoc available
Teladoc.
to employees. Okay.
So on this page, on page 2, it says eligible employees on an optional additional life insurance policy through capers. Eligible employees may apply for up to $250,000. Shouldn't we just leave that may apply for additional life insurance, because won't that amount change? I mean, I don't know if we should put a specific number in there because it might change. We want to keep the policy fluid. and just say eligible employees may apply for additional life insurance?
Well, and then it's an increase up to $400,000.
And then the,
I don't know that that has changed, that would have to change with capers.
that's what I'm saying, I'm just trying to make
Well,
a
we could
policy.
change it when the time comes, if it happens,
You just wanna leave it there as it is?
I'd say.
Yeah. Or
Okay,
could you say to the max allowed, up to the max allowed by capers? If they want it, at their expense.
right, it's just to leave it open, so if capers
Right.
change
If
it,
they
you don't
change
have
it
to
to half a
readdress
million,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. And then the one on 3, I think we need to pull out what Ottawa County is gonna pay. I think we just say that we're gonna offer dental insurance, health and prescription coverage. And I don't think we should commit, we're gonna pay anything for our year to year, because that's a commission decision. I think we just should say, we offer dental insurance, we offer health and prescription coverage, and we offer spousal insurance as outlined by the summary of employee benefits.
I will look at this policy and bring it back for you guys. I don't know, I'll take it back to department heads and see if they agree with some of the changes and then bring it back to you.
And the same thing with the life insurance there, I think we should pull, the county pays 100% of the premium, cause a board might not always do that.
I think that's a pretty trivial benefit, because I looked at that and my wife and I are setting up our estate right now. And I read through this and I said, oh, cause we're getting, changed beneficiaries for all of our life insurance and changing the cars and everything to payable on death and so forth. And I told my wife, I said, oh, hey, the county's got $10,000 life insurance on me. So don't forget that if I die.
Well, I'm just saying that in a policy, it should say we offer it, but we shouldn't commit that what the county's gonna do for the next council commission.
I think it's a good benefit, you know, it
Well,
can't
that's
cost
your,
much.
see,
But they
that's
can
you.
change it too.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but you wanna set up a policy that next year they don't have to change the policy, just that they make those decisions on budget time, but they're not tied to a policy.
I think that's actually the capers, I could be wrong, but I think that's the capers benefit anyway. I have pulled 30.07.
Okay,
I will review it with the department heads and bring it back for you guys to discuss. So next is 3010, unpaid leave of absence, is there anything on that one?
I did not have anything on that.
Okay. 3011, Family Medical Leave Act. There really shouldn't be, these are federal.
The one sentence that couldn't make sense to me, I read it over and over again, was on page 2, where it said, and I don't know if it's missing something. Under eligible employees, the second line after the dot, it says, for purposes of determining whether the employee has worked for Ottawa County for at least 12 months, employment periods prior to a break in service of at least 7 years are not counted.
Yes.
That makes sense to you?
Yes, so if they take a break, if I worked here and then I didn't work here for 7 years, that break in service does not count.
What does it not count towards? Because you could go back and pick up your capers if that was, if you
We're
went
talking FMLA.
FMLA, okay, so that's county policy, yeah. But that's regulated by the federal government, I think, or state,
Right,
FMLA.
this was written, this is a federal policy.
Right,
But, so employment periods prior to a break in service of at least 7 years are not counted, is what it's saying.
and if it's federal, we really can't change it.
Okay, so at the very bottom, like 3 lines from the bottom, you just need to put a period after duty. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay,
No, that wouldn't be correct, hold on. Because if you look at the line above
Let's
that,
see.
covered under active duty period, then it starts the
or has been
parentheses.
notified,
So we need to
and eligible
probably,
take up to rising out of it. I think that active
I see
duty
what it
should be
means,
pulled and maybe the period after the parentheses? What do you think?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay, it's just a minor thing. And then on page 4 of that one, it's just under medical certification. It should be employee dash S, it's very simple. Under employee serious health condition, do you see that? And,
I'd like to go back to page 2 of
Oh.
that on qualifying emergency.
Hold on, I'm sorry, I
Yeah,
saw
okay,
this change,
okay.
where are you at on this? The last one you were just talking about? I don't know what, I'm not seeing.
oh, it was on page 4.
Yeah,
Under certification of employee serious health condition, the very last should be employee, comma, S, see that?
apostrophe S.
Apostrophe S, I'm sorry, comma, apostrophe S, yeah, that's just a slight
Uh,
change.
let me check on that one, I think that might be correct, but I will double check if it needs to change, I'll change it.
So what were you asking about page 2?
What was yours?
Page 2, under qualifying emergencies, down at the bottom, I believe, of page 2, any, in that first sentence, any qualifying I can't even say it, exigency.
Oh, uh-huh,
I don't understand that word and don't know that anybody else would if we'd wanna change that out for something everybody could understand instead of getting a lawyer
Are you on
involved.
page 2?
Page 2 of
And where
11.
at? In which one?
Qualifying emergencies, down at the bottom.
Okay, exigency, I
You-
think I looked that up. There was a couple, there's local parenthesis, I looked up.
this is a federally written policy, so I would be uncomfortable changing any version of it.
You got it.
Okay.
Anything else on 30-11? Okay.
Oh, I only wanted to note this notification to employees by Ottawa County, it didn't, on page 5, it didn't say if it was gonna be human resources or the supervisor.
Which part are you on?
A notification to employees by Ottawa County, it didn't really specify who.
Okay.
Do you think that's important, or?
Notification to employees by Ottawa County.
Yeah, it doesn't say who. Do you, I mean, if it's,
No, I'm okay with it not saying who, because it very well could be that I've asked the department head who might know, it might be a very personal situation that I pass on to the department head.
so you're just okay, just Ottawa County?
Ottawa County.
Okay. And then on page 11 is just adding an apostrophe under family and medical leave, workers' compensation. You just have to put it,
Okay, I'm sorry, you guys are gonna have to be more specific where you're at, so I can follow along. Page 11,
on page 6,
page 6.
yes.
Okay, sorry, I missed that part. And then what section?
Under family and medical leave and workers' compensation, you just need to add an apostrophe under
Family
workers.
medical leave and workers' compensation, and then what sentence?
That header, you need to put an apostrophe after workers, and the workers on that same line, you just have to add 2 apostrophes. Do you see it?
I see where you're at. I will check to see if that's correct.
I looked it up just to make sure because I was going back and
That
forth.
seems weird to add them, but I'll double
Yeah.
check and make the changes if need be.
Okay, and then, my next one on that is on 9/11. So the covered duty,
Okay, I'm sorry, again, what page?
page 9.
Page 9, okay. Give me
Sorry.
a moment to get there.
I have mine all circled, sorry about that. So it says active duty is just to a
I'm sorry,
foreign,
wait, what section?
covered active duty.
Okay, go ahead.
So it says to a foreign country, it doesn't apply if it's in the United States?
Again, this is a federal policy. I'm not comfortable answering any questions as far as that goes. This is a federal policy.
I think that's weird.
Write your congressman.
I'm not saying
You're
there
calling.
are other pieces in here that don't go into other things, but this is a federal policy.
Okay. I'll just put federal policy.
We can double check
It's
to make
very
sure.
sad.
Again, we will double check to make sure that it is supposed to only say that, but this is a federal policy.
Okay, if you just recheck, I would rather have it say both, but if it's a federal policy.
there any other changes to 30.11?
No.
Okay. 3012?
I think that's still federal policy. I don't think we better mess with it, is it?
Yeah, most of these are. This is military leave.
All you have to do is capitalize military under leave status. Do you see that after the dots,
No. Oh,
right there?
okay.
Not a
Anything
big
else?
deal. That's all I had.
Okay. And then 3014, which is professional memberships and professional continuing education.
My only question about that, so professional education is paid for, and not that anybody has ever misused it, but there's no limit on this. How do you feel about that?
I'm okay with it. I really, because what I'm thinking of continued education is, you're talking about certifications, you're talking about, we're not talking about paying for someone's college education.
Well, I guess I kind of think about, if you have somebody who's gone all the time. Now, I'm not talking about anybody who's now,
Right.
but I'm just saying if you have somebody who, I'll just pick on emergency management, because I think that's an example of that you could literally be gone in training for
Every day.
something every day. And I didn't know if we should put some comment in like, professional continued education should not interfere with job responsibilities or deadlines or something.
I think in that,
A reasonable amount.
Yeah, judgment of the
I think in
department.
that case, you have two types of employees, you have elected and non-elected.
Right.
So you're elected, not elected, you can do about it. Your non-elected or appointed people, if you feel like they're gone a long time, that's when you address it as a commission and you bring them in.
Yeah.
And if they choose to have their staff gone for a lot of times and the offices are being covered, for example, again, I'd have you guys bring in the department head and say, it appears we're paying for an excessive amount of training, but we don't feel like the office is open or that training's being be able to be utilized if you're not here at work to do it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I think that's what
I was just concerned of not anybody now. But-
no, absolutely. No, I see what you're saying, but I would say I think that's what kind of would be the natural order.
So from an elected standpoint person, and again, I'm not
Right.
we don't have a control about how many professional hours they take anyway, right?
Right.
So we're only controlling non-elected, and so I guess we would have that opportunity anyway. Okay.
And if you do feel like an elected person you do have a right to call them out in a meeting and say, hey, I feel like you've gone a whole lot, like, at training, and I see all this money you still could call them out in a meeting too.
Okay, all right.
So anything else on 3014?
Nope.
Okay. 3015, which is employee assistance program.
I didn't have anything on that.
Okay. 3016, jury duty.
I didn't have any of that, but I was selected for jury duty, you guys. So
Oh,
if I'm called, watch out, right?
I know some other people that were too. You might be in quite a group.
So,
yeah.
just so you know, I guess I'll call Tammy and say, if I have to miss, I'll say I'm at jury duty.
3017, time off to votes.
What hours are the polls open?
7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
So I was trying to make sure that they have an opportunity to go vote.
Everyone's working hours can differ though.
Right. So, but most people leave at 5, so it does give them an opportunity from 5 to 7. Because it says they have to have at least, if
For 2
polls are
hours,
open for at least 2 consecutive hours after the employee's work. I just wanted to make sure that was true.
And we
You
early
think we're
vote inside the
okay?
courthouse as well. Again, this is more of a federally
Right.
required policy. I don't know that we've ever run into an issue. And we
Okay.
also have early voting in the courthouse and that kind of thing.
Okay, just wanted to make sure they have the opportunity.
4001, which is employee identification / key cards. Any questions on that?
I think and on number 2, I think you want to pull the word "are."
I
the last sentence, for maintaining an electronic record of all identification key codes issued by the facility director.
Oh, I see. Okay,
And then I saw that every single person carries their ID when they're off-site.
I can't say that, I don't, the policy is that they do.
Yeah, that they take all the road and bridge people take all their IDs with them during the day?
The policy is that they do.
I'm sorry, yes, okay. That's all I had on that.
Okay. All right, 4002, Ottawa County credit card policy, any questions on that?
I think under scope, at the very bottom of that page,
Okay,
I think you want it to read, by complying with these regulations, employees who are responsible for purchasing items on county cards. I think you wanna pull A, or you could pull all that who are responsible for, and you could say employees purchasing items on county will be assured. So I think you can either pull who are responsible for, or insert who.
I'll look at that.
And then pull that A. And I guess when I go on to this page 2 of this, it says the Board of County Commissioners approved the addition of new card holders. I've never seen this done. Do we do that?
Yeah, that should need to be taken out.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll need to take that sentence out.
Okay, any request for must be.
Actually, that whole paragraph.
Okay, we'll pull that paragraph.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just so you guys know, the process is when somebody wants a new credit card, they come to my office. And then, I had one department that could articulate a need for having a department credit card.
Mhm.
And I could see in their transactions why. So I was like, okay, I can issue a card.
Mhm.
I've had other people request a card, and for various reasons, I've had to fortunately say, no, I'm sorry, like, if it's not a department head or elected official in charge of that card, I will not issue one,
Mhm.
because they're multiple charges in budget.
Okay, I was just like, I've never seen issue. So-
Yeah, and
Never
I don't
either.
get anything in writing,
Mhm.
so, we made a lot of changes to this one, so that was overlooked.
And then I think midway down, you just need to get the spacing right there. It said should raise concerns. Do you see that?
Oh, yeah, I see it.
Okay, that's the only thing I had on that one.
Is that it for that one?
And then,
Oh, sorry.
on page 4,
Okay,
right before security, I think you need a comma after card, so it makes sense. All, after 3 incidents of a cardholder card, comma, all should be revoked. Do you see that?
okay, I'll check on that one, okay.
Okay, so then on the next page, on page 5, it says, I guess I was confused, it says destroy any unwanted expired cards by returning them. Should we just say return unwanted cards to the clerk's office?
Which part are you on, Carla?
I'm on the second dot.
Either way, they have to return the cards to me.
Yeah, so I don't think you wanna use the word destroy, I think you should just say return unwanted cards to the.
And then Tammy destroys.
Yeah, I think. And then I think there's like, at the very bottom, I think there's a duplication, like if you look at the last 4 sentences, where it says check that receipt, deny any report, and do not, I think those are a replication at the very top. I think those need to be deleted.
Are you still on page 4?
Yeah,
5, page
at the
5.
bottom.
I think,
Check the receipt.
I see it,
starting there, I think that's
duplication,
of the top 4.
yep, I see it, okay.
Okay, and then on page 6, like halfway down, under goods and services, you have such as, and there's nothing listed. Do you wanna just pull that, or do you wanna add something, or?
Oh, such as travel and accommodation, fuel, county vehicles, on down the line. Under that, I think, is everything such as. In that instance.
Are you on page 6?
I'll check on that.
Are you under goods and
Yeah,
services?
I'm on 6, acceptable use of the credit card.
Okay, and then go to the next section, though not exhaustive. And then,
No,
goods and services needed urgently, and then the next goods and services that can be not required through normal ordering process, such as, and then there's none listed.
I don't follow where you're at yet.
Okay, I
They're
am.
not exhaustive or mutually
Right here.
exclusive.
Halfway in the middle, right?
Yeah,
Back
shoot.
dab in the middle.
Yeah. That's where I'm at. Goods and services needed urgently,
No, keep going.
such as, is that right? Travel and accommodation, fuel for
Oh,
county.
that's another such as, well, so this such as should go with that?
I think so.
All
Such
of
as
them
all of these below
Oh, so
it.
you're thinking those others, such as should be those other three? Oh, you can look.
I'll look into it. Anything else on 4002?
No. On appendix B, see where you need to pull that click or tap here to enter text on both lines? And you need a line for the printed name,
Sorry, hold on.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's just because these are fillable PDFs.
Yeah. So
That's
can you,
fine.
yeah, so just pull that and put a
We
line.
can't pull that. We'll probably just leave it the way it is. It's just a fillable PDF.
Well, you want a line there for the employee printed name.
Oh, well, it will actually replace that with the employee's name, right there when we fill them out.
Oh,
It'll
you're not gonna
actually-
fill that out.
Yeah, it'll actually just replace their name
Okay,
right
so
there.
Tammy fills it out, I got it. And then on appendix C, at the very end, I think the word, the very last line, I think you need unless revoked in writing right there. It's-
Until, I don't see a difference. Until revoked in writing.
Until, and there's a date gonna go in there. The authorization is effective as of blank and remains in effect until blank. Those are dates,
Oh,
unless revoked in writing. Don't you think unless needs to be in there, Tammy?
I think so.
yeah,
Do you see that? Okay,
yeah.
okay, that was it.
Okay,
Okay, after 8 hours of reading those documents,
I know, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, we were trying
when
not
I
to
printed
do-
off 83 pages of an agenda, I'm like,
Oh,
oh
yeah.
no.
Yes, we were really trying not to give you guys too big of lumps of policies at once, so I do apologize.
But 80
Here.
pages of policy.
Yeah, it is coming to an end.
Okay,
So,
well, it's a lot of work, I know.
yes, so if we can,
Do you wanna approve some of them?
yes, all but 3006, 3006A, and 3007.
Wait a minute, write them down.
Yep, I got them.
So do you want us to call that 20.03
Uh-huh.
and 20.04?
Yep.
And you're gonna change 05,
I'm
right?
gonna update some of those other ones I can update, but there's 3 I pulled altogether.
Are you changing this one because we pulled that? Are we waiting on
What's this
05?
one?
Are we waiting on 05 because
No.
you're gonna pull that sentence?
No, if you guys approve them, I will make changes and have you re-sign those.
Okay, so
Next
do
week.
you want just to say as amended?
So, 20.03, 4 and 5,
Uh-huh.
what else?
3002, 3004, 3010, 3011, 3012, 3014, 3015, 3016, 3017, 4001, and 4002.
Okay, so go back there to 3004, what after that?
3010,
Then,
3011,
okay,
3012, 3014.
okay, I got the rest of them.
Now you're gonna change 07, right? You're gonna relook at 07.
Yes.
So you pulled 07 and 3010 was okay. I'm trying to think which ones we pulled, 3011.
Are you need to show which ones will have revisions? I have that as well.
Well, let's just do what we're approving.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you've got the list there, Scott, you make the motion.
Are you ready, Carla? Or Carla?
Yep,
Tammy?
I'm ready.
Move to approve, resolutions of,
Policies.
or policies of 2003, 4, 5, and 3002, 4, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, and 17, and 4001 and 4002.
I will second that.
Moved and seconded to approve all these policies. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, let me just double check to make sure. So we're gonna say as changed. So 4002, you were gonna pull that paragraph, but you're okay with that?
Yes, the only ones I'm not gonna make, I mean, I'm gonna look at some of the other changes.
Well, 4002 had a lot of changes. I don't think we should approve 4002.
4002,
Yeah.
let me look at it, 'cause I don't think there were that many changes.
Well, you're pulling a paragraph and you're re-looking at that duplication,
The duplication's gonna come out, it's duplication.
and you're gonna see if these are situated. I don't think we should approve 4002.
What changes are you questioning in 4002? That, I don't see any major changes.
Well, you're gonna check about on page 7 if those are right, and you're gonna pull,
I'm sorry, page 7, I don't have any changes.
well, that, to understand what the such as are,
That's page 6,
yes.
and then my guess is it'll just say goods and services needed urgently. I'm assuming we're gonna take out the word such as, either that, or it's gonna be goods and services needed urgently, such as travel and accommodation, and that's not a major change.
Well, this one here, though, you're gonna see if
But I
that's
don't know what this one here is,
on page 5.
page 5.
You're gonna see if you need to pull that at the last.
No, we do need to pull it. It's a duplication. It's a duplication.
Well, I would
of the-
feel better about pulling, not approving 04 to look at it one more time.
4002.
Which one did you pull? You pulled 06, 07,
06A.
06?
06, 06A, and 07. I mean, to be honest, you don't have to do 4002, I just don't think there are that many changes. I'm not arguing with any of the changes you're making necessarily. I don't disagree with any of them. But if you wanna wait, that's okay too.
Which one was the one, 3010, is that the one you were gonna go back and, about the benefits?
3006, 3006A, and 3007 are the ones that I'm pulling, not to be approved, to be re-looked at. Those are the three.
Which number is the one that is benefits?
3007 is benefits.
3007 has benefits, okay. Sorry, it just, those are a lot of policies to go through.
Yeah, we're ready for them to be done too, we've gone through them a lot. There's a lot of them.
So what is the deal?
Well, I just think,
I need to reread my motion.
No,
We need to take one
you
off.
have a motion with a second on the table,
Okay.
so,
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed?
will we see these before we sign them?
no.
The 4001,
You will re-see 3006, 3006A, and 3007. You will re-see those three.
will we not see 4002? You guys don't think we should look at, since we made so many changes?
I trust Tammy.
I trust her.
I mean,
And they were not big changes in 4002. I don't disagree with the changes.
Okay. Okay,
yay,
I will
nay,
be
or-
a,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Thank you. So I do have all the policies in the folder, but the ones that will need to get changes, I will re-bring to you to re-sign. Which is all these over here, so. I've kept track of which ones I've changed and which ones so. Okay. And now, next would be accounts payable.
I'll move to approve accounts payable for $1,933,323.32.
That's different than what I thought we had, 1928, 1,928,000 I thought was what we had.
I have not $1,933,000.
That's what I got.
Okay. I don't know where I come up with mine. But I will second your motion for that amount.
Moved and seconded to approve the bills at $1,933,323.32. Is there any discussion?
I just think since it's such a huge amount, we should note that we're paying the hospital their appropriation of $658,000 and the ambulance of $658,000. Those are 6 mills to both of them. Also included in this is the FEMA reimbursement to the townships. They finally got that after 2 years, so that was $298,000. And also included in that is our other appropriations for 2026, which total about $210,000, just to justify the 1.9 million. I just want it noted so that people understand when it's such a huge number, it's like our 2026 appropriations.
Yeah, and it's all the appropriations, just FYI, we used to pay out, she's out of accounting like in November, but they asked to get it at the same time as everybody else, which is great, so it actually just makes it easier on us, so.
Yeah.
So where we at?
Minute,
That
You
was
have a
just,
second?
just approve, just all vote on it.
I think you had a second, did we
just
vote
need to
on?
vote on it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
so we're on minutes next. And all changes were made to the minutes, all the changes given by both.
I would move to approve the meeting minutes of February the 9th, 2028 as presented. The 6th, is it? Okay.
2026.
2026, sorry, yeah. February the 9th, 2026, as presented.
I'll second. Moved and seconded to approve the minutes of February 9th, 2026. Is there any discussion?
Dwayne, was there anything other than that your changes were? I don't know what your changes were. Mine was just clarification during the
I
discussion.
just submitted them to Tammy and struck them in red, and
Just like we always do, you guys send me changes.
Yep.
If there's nothing major, I make the change, and I will let you know every time there's anything that may come up, but there was nothing out of the sort, something that changed really anything in the minute.
Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
I guess to
There's
avoid that in the future, I guess I should get here early and read through them, just so I don't have to ask that question.
Well, I said it before you guys made the motion.
There's a letter from the Swain County 4-H Development Fund. This is for tax information, 200 that we paid for the $200 donation. You looked at that? Okay. And there's a couple other letters, but they're one's addressed to Carla. You guys can look at them. Pass for Dwayne to sign. Here, I'll give you yours. I didn't open this, by the way. I didn't open that.
I always open and look for bills. If it's not a bill, pass that out. they will bill you guys for all kinds of things, as the, that has to be paid, so I always look and pull over the bill.
That's a good idea.
Do you guys want quick comments?
Yeah, I had the privilege of meeting with Dr. Marshall and Representative Wolf and the AVI group for ribbon cutting of the new kitchen that's going to start serving meals in the near future, maybe next week, not for sure. And pretty good. Anyway, pretty good meeting. There were a lot of topics that Dr. Marshall touched on that would help AVI. So anyway,
You mean as a small business, or
yeah.
he had some opportunities for it?
Yeah, there was one in particular that I can't remember the name of it, but anyway, it'll probably be in his report. That's about all I had other than meeting with the lady.
The PhD?
Yeah. Dwayne?
I really don't have anything to report other than just kinda status quo, keeping up, and got a busy meeting, or a busy week coming up.
Yeah.
Let's see, Monday I'm going to the CDBG meeting at Beloit, put on by the North Central Regional Planning. There's a data center seminar in Saline County, so I'm gonna go spy on them. I mean, look at them and see what their take on data centers are.
Oh, wow, that's your commissioner meeting?
I don't know if that's not their commissioner meeting, I think it's just a special informational data center meeting.
That's interesting.
The only thing I've heard bad about them is noise, so.
Yeah, and water, which that's
We don't-
refuted, and, yeah. And then the big beautiful bill thing, I thought I might attend, and the extension office next door is across the street at 7, and legislative coffee at AVI at 10 a.m. I'm gonna try and get to that.
And there's also a craft show going on in the AVI gym. You wanna put that in there?
Yeah, craft show in the AVI gym.
I think that's kind of good that the community uses it.
And also a benefit dinner for a lady that's fighting cancer in Delphus. Soup supper, I think is what it is.
So when is that?
Same day. I'm not sure if it's at noon or when it is, but it's,
So what day do you think that is, the craft show?
Saturday, isn't it?
This Saturday?
yeah, same day.
Oh, the
as
same time that they're having the legislative dinner?
Delphus
That's a
does
good
it all in one day.
That's
Everything.
actually a good idea, because you'll have people in there,
Bring your checkbooks.
traffic, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a really good idea.
Got a NASCAR collection, I'd sell the whole thing to you for.
So there's a benefit lunch that day, is that what it
Yes,
is?
I'll have to look and see,
Cause the legislative coffee's at 10 o'clock.
right. I would think that they would have that soup deal at noon, I would think, but I'm not sure. Well, it says donuts will be provided for the
Coffee?
coffee. Why did you were right there and you just went away? hours from 9 to 2. Reserve your spot. Well, that's a bad deal. I don't know where that's at, but there is a benefit. I know. I'll have to find out what it is. What time is the benefit soup supper? See if anybody answers.
You want me to go ahead?
Go ahead.
Okay, so I was really excited to see the FEMA distribution come in because I know some of the people had called me about that for 2 years, so I was really grateful for that. Good news, right? And I did get a call from the Ellis County Commissioner, Commissioner Younger, I had called him regarding that unified fleet leasing, and they had used Enterprise, and they were extremely happy with it. They've been using it for over 5 years, and they can use Enterprise because they have more than 10 vehicles, and they have both their patrol as well as road and bridge vehicles. But they're very happy with it, so that encouraged me that Ellis County it had worked well for them. Golden Wheel does have a cook. They started last week. I'm very grateful that,
Praise the Lord.
Yeah, amen. That the Flint Hills Agency worked with the Golden Wheel and their staff and their board to get this done. They reported that they usually serve between 300 and 400 meals a month. So, we went almost 2 months without it, or no, at least 1 month without it. So I'm grateful there's a cook there. Also, at the agency meeting, they said that the riders that are the vans that we have for aging, that they're in the month of November, that's the latest data they had, was 258 riders. So that's exciting to know that those buses are used that much, that we help support. And I know Jason reported that the Delphus Fire Department went down to that fire.
Yep.
And they're back, I assume?
I've not heard that.
I haven't either.
So you don't know if they're back yet?
No, I don't know that.
So I was thankful that Jay kept us in the loop to understand that some of our fire departments were going there. I was grateful for that. I was sad to hear about that denial about the flooding in Tuscott for that FEMA. And I don't know if they're gonna, when I talked to Chris, he said there might be another opportunity to file, but.
Well, I've heard that they did not get the right paperwork in on time or something, but I don't know.
Yeah, and it
I don't
all
know who's-
filed together, so I don't,
Some of the paperwork I've heard was kind of slow being submitted to Marie to get into the tally. So,
And
Yeah.
Chris said that him and Marie went down to try to help the process. So they did everything, Ottawa County employees did everything they could to try to make that work. As much as I hate bringing this up, but the mileage for the boards, we did approve last week mileage for the aging board. And we kind of need to address that, maybe next meeting. You can kind of give us an idea of how many boards we're talking about.
Yeah, I've started a list. It'll be up to you guys to draw the line where you want that to go.
Yeah, but it's
And,
just,
and I will tell you, I won't guarantee it's an exhaustive list, so if you come up with anything else, please let me know, and I will put that on the agenda.
Yeah.
And put my list in the agenda, attachment, so if you think of anything else.
okay. And, I did know that, that Jim Davidson helped write a grant for the Bennington Fire Department for the More 800 radio. So I'm grateful to see him serving the community in that role and helping them get those done. Last week, or 2 weeks ago, I talked about that you had suggested that I go talk to Jody about those reports. And I went down to meet with her in person a couple different times, and there were always people standing outside the door because she was working the front desk with Missy. So I sent her an email in return, and she said that she said the payroll report that she she goes, asked me what specifically I needed, I told her, and she goes, well, I won't have that till the end of the month. But I think that, in the interim, we should request just the payroll report we've had in the past. I mean, I think we should be trustworthy enough with the information presented until she gets a report that takes away that information. So I think we should request that before the payroll of February.
Well, I don't think it's any of our business where it shows where people put their money, or how many accounts they have, or child support, or any of that. So I don't particularly want to see any of that.
I understand, but I don't think that is, we're doing our job either to not have more detail before we approve a payroll.
What details do you want?
I told her I wanted to know the list of the employees, what they make, how many hours they worked, and so we could see the benefit side, the employer side, to see how many people are utilizing our benefits, to see what our employee benefits costs are.
I think we could leave that employee information about the benefit side, whether they take family or single or whatever it would be, leave that with the HR people, you know, with the payroll people. Cause that's,
well, just the part, our part, that we're paying for those, because we need to know if it looks reasonable based on what we budgeted for healthcare. That's the big piece of it.
I think she could get us a total that would be a running total, maybe as to what, if we're on target for what our benefits are, without getting the personal information of who subscribes to what. I'm like Scott, I really don't wanna know that either, but I think we can get information to know that we're on target with benefits through the year 2026 without getting that. I think Jody could design a report for that.
Okay.
But my problem is that we got the report all last year, and now all of a sudden we can't get it, or we're not given it, and we're
Well,
still supposed to approve payroll. So I do think.
I will tell you what, I wasn't gonna say this, but I am. It's because of you asking too many questions about private stuff.
Well,
I'm just telling you, that is exactly why. And it's nobody's business who's got what account or what account that their money goes into. It's nobody's business. And that's the reason that they're bucking the system. And so that's all I have to say about it.
On the flip side, we're the ones accountable for the payroll going out, and we should know the other information.
We need to know totals. We don't need to know where it goes for child support or
I
family.
don't care about that. I don't care about that.
That's probably on the report.
But on the flip side, we should see the report, we should see the information we're supposed to approve, which is the payroll amount going out.
Did you guys not get that last time, the payroll, the amount of payroll going out?
No, it doesn't show per person though.
But
We
you
just
did
got
get
a
the-
lump
but-
sum.
Okay, so you did get the total. Oh, I thought you got the total. I wanna make sure
We
you
got
the
this
total.
by department, but I wanna see by person to see what they're making, to make, I mean, we're supposed to examine it, and I'm trying to examine the payroll before we pay it.
Well, if there's any way she can give it to us without all that other stuff, I don't have a problem, but I don't think that private information should be out to even me or you or anybody.
And the lastly is, the motor vehicle thing. She said that last year, or in the years past, that you did not get the calculation, all you got was the total paid? Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I'll have to go back and look. I would have had everything. So, I don't know when they get all that information. Have they got that information yet?
I don't know what information is being asked for. I think that's where the
The
confusion is.
tag,
That doesn't come out till May.
Well, the distribution went out in the end of December, that's when
Are you asking for a distribution amount?
Well, the amount that was paid out. I was just trying to figure out how you calculated the amount that was paid out.
I think you need to get with Jody and ask, and be clear about what you're asking for, cause even I'm confused, cause like I do a motor vehicle abstract, she does some distributions, there's some other, there's a lot of motor vehicle reports. So I think we need to be more clear as to what you're asking for, because I'm not sure what you're asking for. And she may not be sure what you're asking for. Cause if you're
Why
just
don't-
wanting the distribution, that comes out in the distribution report, but is it total, is it just that distribution?
Well, the amount that was transferred out of the, reserve account that was paid out, I just wanted to see the calculation of that amount.
Doesn't make sense. You might have to give it Jody. I'm not sure what that is, or what you're asking. I do have some clerk stuff before you adjourn.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready for that, if everyone's done.
Go on.
Okay. Okay, so couple things with the clerk. I need to RSVP to the North Central, Commission meeting on April 8th, so I just need to know who is able to attend.
Is that the one that's here?
That is, well, we're hosting it, but it's still in Cloud County.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
I plan to go.
I will.
Carla, Dwayne, Scott, are you able to attend?
I'm looking.
Is that just a regular meeting of the North Central Regional Planning?
Not planning, I'm sorry if I said planning, commissioners,
Oh,
the
okay.
regional commission meeting. I
That's
may
fine.
have said planning, so I apologize if I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go. The 8th of April.
Yep, April 8th. I just need to get a head count for that. We picked the meal, it's fried chicken, mashed potatoes, she says gravy, corn, broccoli, cauliflower, salad, dessert, so. There's that. I am still currently working on the Central Kansas Library appointment, I think I have a good lead on that.
Oh,
so
good.
We'll get that going. Also, I need a head count for the hospital meeting. I believe that's April 20th at 11:30. I just need to know who can go to the hospital meeting.
I plan to go.
I will.
I'll plan on going, just so I'm there.
At 11?
11:30. So we'll have to adjourn out of this meeting by a little before that. And
You'll
then
have to plan the agenda, no
Yes.
policies.
Yeah, no policies. No policies. And
No
they are,
83-page agenda.
yeah, and they are providing lunch.
Oh, okay.
So,
I have a doctor's appointment that afternoon, so I probably won't go.
okay. So that's that. So I needed those numbers. I also wanted to let you guys know that in K-Work, we have to give an estimation of our employees. Jody actually does this for us. She does a really great job at it. So our audited premium, excuse me, our premium deposit at the beginning was $62,761. They did an audit, so it's always better to go over than under. And our audit came back as $51,439. So we got a refund check for $11,322. They delivered to me on Friday. So
Wow, great job.
that is great, Jody. And he's like, you guys must have
That's
a really good
workman's
person doing
comp,
it.
right?
That's workman's comp.
So that was reimbursed, so that means we had less injuries, less filings, less,
No.
Less employees.
Less employees, pay wise. You never know where people are gonna land, so we've had some people that retire. So you try to get it, you always wanna overestimate, so you never have to pay back in. Which, so, and they refund after their audit, so,
wow.
the 11,000 is great. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun.
I just saw that K-Camp is $188,000 and some change. K-Works was 62, but now it's 51. So we're spending about $230,000 for insurance, for workman's comp, for insuring all the property that the county has. Staggering number.
And there is,
You moved that, payment for liability insurance
Got
to
it.
2026?
I forgot about something.
I'm sorry, what?
Remember when I said in 2025, both liability payments, personal
No,
property?
I didn't move anything. There's a reason why I didn't, I couldn't, popping it up, and I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, because it happened a while back, but there was a reason we didn't move it, and I don't remember what that reason was off the top of my head.
I need,
Go ahead.
I need a executive session. I forgot about something that I need to talk to you guys about. Won't take but 5 minutes probably.
Were you done?
I'm sorry.
Yes, I believe it.
I asked so many questions, I was like, I'm sorry. Okay, so you want 5 minutes into what?
No, just a minute here. Confidential data. Trade secrets.
You want Tammy in it,
Yeah.
and you only want it for 5 minutes? You said?
I just wanna tell, it won't take that, yeah, it won't tell. I just wanna tell something that you two need to know.
Okay, so we wanna motion to move into executive session under, confidential data
Yep,
regarding trade secrets.
Yep.
For 5 minutes, to include Tammy Cox, to return at the commissioner meeting at 11:55,
6.
56.
A second. It's moved and seconded to go into executive session for 5 minutes about confidential data and trade secrets with the three of us and the clerk. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Hey, that recall petition, I'll give you a call.
Sounds good, thank you.
Aye.
Oh, hold on,
Rewind.
Yeah.
Okay, audio's on.
I think there was something else I wanted to say.
Yeah.
No decision made.
Oh, wait.
Well done.
Oh, well done, it ain't got it on yet.
Well, I have it off. I don't know where it's at. There we go.
No decision made. I think that's
Do you
all,
remember what else you wanted?
I think that's all,
So you want a motion to adjourn at 11:55?
Yeah.
I would second that.
moved and seconded to adjourn at 11:57.
I have seven.
6, 5,
All those in favor?
Pick the time. Aye.
Aye.